All right. Welcome to the Indie Corner After Dark. We're not just talking about all things independent comics, but everything comics. I'm Mikey.
I'm Seamus.
And today, people, we're back at again on another episode of the Indie Corner After Dark, episode 28 of the Indie Corner After Dark podcast. We're almost at 30, Seamus. Can you believe it? We're almost
I know. It's crazy.
We're almost at 30 episodes.
We got to do a big Ultimate Universe special for 30.
I never said we had to do that. I didn't know.
I did. It's an executive decision because there's got to be a reason I'm rereading all these. I can't just want to hurt myself, man. Come on.
I mean, I think it is because you want to hurt yourself. But besides the point. But yeah, people, we're back at it again on an episode, and originally it was planned to just be a D23 centric focused podcast, but because D23 there wasn't a lot of announcements, we decided to make it like a typical news segment format this time. And it's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna talk about some comics, mostly just like some of the new X-Men comics that dropped. We're gonna be talking about some other small topics that I was able to find briefly, and some little bit of a new trailer that came out today, as well as some of the D23 stuff that dropped over the weekend. So Seamus, I'm excited, bro. I'm excited with you as well. Thanks again, man, for joining me on this as per usual. You're the only one that cared.
Yeah, I can't not talk about comic books I literally read today. So,
and people, also, if you're joining us on Instagram, because we're also streaming on Instagram as well. Obviously, people will follow me will see it, but if you could just type in the at the Indie Corner, VINDIE Corner on YouTube and subscribe. That would be great because I feel like we make good content. Right, Seamus? I think so.
Mm-hmm. I think it's top tier, actually.
Yeah. No, I was just saying that. Well, all right, just to get off real, just to get into it, Seamus. So to start off, bro, so we're gonna be talking about, just some comic book reviews that got some reviews, some comics that came out within some of it this week, and a bit of it last week as well. But mainly want to just talk about a lot of the X-Men stuff that has been dropping lately, mostly with the new relaunch of the X-Men comics now that the Krakoan age is over, and they've relaunched with Gail Simone, who is people known who's known for like Wonder Woman, Birds of Prey, legendary writer, and also a legendary person on Twitter apparently. That she is now heading a new age of X-Men, and I love how I love how the tagline for all the books is "From the Ashes, a New Beginning." I think it's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and it seems like obviously with X-Men, 97 and all that stuff, it seems like they're trying to go like go back to like the 90s-esque era of X-Men, that nostalgia. So it's continuing with the comics as well with this new relaunch and initiative. But yeah, bro, we'll get right into it. So I want to talk about and some of these books that I have read, and some of these books I haven't, but it's also vice versa with Seamus as well. But I want to talk about real quick, bro, because my favorite one out of them all actually came out last week, and it was none other than X-Men, Uncanny X-Men #1, and also X-Men #2 dropped as well. Yeah, bro. You want to start off with this? You want to just do X-Men #2 first, or because I read X-Men #1 from last month, and I thought it was all right. I thought it was all right. It was a good start. I mean, it's pretty much the creative team on it. I know it's I know Ryan Stegman does the artwork.
That's right. X-Men's Ryan Stegman and Jed McKay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then Uncanny's Simone and
David Marquez, who's like one of my favorite artists. He's such a great artist. Marquez
really, really, I love his art. And Stegman did a great job too.
He did as well. Yeah, I'm used to him on Spider-Man stuff, so I'm like,
so it was very nice to see him do cool X-Men designs. I really like his Juggernaut design, but X-Men so far has been all right. It hasn't been bad. I just don't know where it's going, and I don't know really what like the pull is for the book. Because like with like Uncanny X-Men, I know immediately what the pull is. I know exactly like the point that they're going with the book. Like, it's a bunch of outlaw X-Men who are famous, but like right now they don't really want to be on an X-Men team because they're so tired of it, but they still feel like they got to help in some way. And I'm like, cool. But with this X-Men, it's like, okay, Scott now has an entire team of people who are objectively like shitty people and have done shitty things in the past. And now they're working out of like a decommissioned Sentinel factory in Alaska for some reason.
Which
you know what I mean?
It's kind of cool. You know,
it's a cool setup, but I just don't know where we're going.
They're taking it back.
Yeah, it's like a cool setup, but I just don't know where we're supposed to go with it. You know what I mean? Like, why is Scott forming this team with these people? Like, what are they trying to do? Is Scott literally just doing a Hail Mary of like, I need any team to be on. I need an X-Men. I can't be alone. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm still interested to see where it goes, but I am a little like, I like the first 2 issues, but they're just fine for me. The first issue of Uncanny was great. You know what I mean? And I think that's the difference between the two. Is that, and like, listen, me and you, Mikey, we talk about how great Jed McKay is all the time. We love Jed McKay.
We love
so
Jed
that's
McKay.
why I feel like, that's why I feel like this was an uncharacteristically like somewhat average beginning for him. But I do feel like most of his books, to be fair, also kind of have like an all right beginning where you're like, I'm somewhat interested, and then by like issue 15, you're like, okay, all right, this shit, he's starting to cook a little bit. So I'll see. I'll stick with it. But so far, old X-Men, all right start, but I'm interested to see where it goes because, you know, it's got Magneto on the team. That's cool already.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think the roster was what drew me to the book. Like, I mean, I liked Cyclops now a lot more because of Expo 97. I know you're a Cyclops fan though. I mean, they had, you know, Psylocke, Quanon as Psylocke, and like, you know, Juggernaut was on the team, and that was really cool. Magneto, you know, kind of rocking his own, like, you know, Professor X kind of chair vibe. I thought was really cool. Beast, I thought the roster was really interesting, but like, yeah, like it just seemed all right. I mean, I did like the whole Alaska angle because obviously, you know, Alaska is Scott's hometown, but like at the same time, I love the fact that they're reclaiming a Sentinel base that the town actually, like, you know, used which actually what was it? It gave a lot of the citizens in this town jobs, which I thought was very interesting angle.
That twist halfway through the first, where she's like, yeah, we lost a lot of good jobs, and Beast is like, okay, but you guys weren't exactly innocent, and it shows like the Sentinel on the wall, and I was like, that's kind of cool.
It was really cool.
Yeah. And then at the end, that big Sentinel like statue Magneto made over the town to remind them. And I'm like, okay, Magneto, of course you'd be like a big fucking like, look, remind them of their fucking sins or whatever. And it's a statue, and I'm like, dude.
And I do think it's interesting. I mean, I did Beast giving the whole tour, which I like Beast. I mean, Beast is a cool character, but
Beast is objectively like Satan at this point in X-Men canon. But I do like how people are like still like, oh, it's Beast, but it's like people who know him are like.
To be fair though, just a disclaimer, like I didn't read a lot of the Krakoan stuff, so I don't know a lot of like the stuff that how it ended that set up this new relaunch. But I did hear that Beast went evil, and he was like pretty much just like he was the devil. He was a mutant devil.
Well, because Beast is kind of ever since like the 90s, Beast has had a decline where he's been going more and more fucking insane. And then during the Krakoan age, he was so insane they wouldn't even let him on the island.
That's crazy.
He was so fucking batshit. They literally were like, yeah, no, dude, you're not. No, please don't come here. You're gonna ruin it.
And I love the fact that you have like Scott, you know, trying to be, you know, the good Boy Scout leader that he always is, trying to like, you know, live up to like, you know, the professor's vision as usual. And when he actually explains this when he talks to the sheriff of the town, but then Magneto comes in and is like, yeah, no, like that's Scott. I'm not Scott. I still think that like we had a home, we had peace, and yet y'all couldn't even like give us that. So like
And Beast is like, hey, Max, relax, dude. Like, we're trying to like do something different here. And Magneto actually is like, all right, fine, fuck it. But I love that one line where they had Quentin Quire come off the jet, and he's like, "What up, Professor M?" And Magneto's like,
Quire, bro.
and Magneto's like, "Please tell me he will die soon." And I was like,
yeah.
It's so great to see everyone hate Quentin.
I know, right? Because like Quentin's a little shit, and I love the fact that like it's a reminder that like everyone thinks he's a little shit, and that also he's died multiple times, and everyone loves to see him die multiple times.
Yeah, and then he'll come back, and everyone. But I love how he's a little shit, and he knows since everyone already hates him for being a little shit, he has full reign to be even more of a little shit. So like in issue 2, he's immediately like, Scott, I'm not going to respond unless you call me by my chosen name. And Scott's like, I'm not calling you Kid Omega. And Quentin's like, then I'm going to stay on the ship. I'm not going to do anything. And Scott needs him. And Quentin's like, I'm not Quentin. And Scott's like, oh, Kid Omega, can you please come help us? And he was like, and then he comes down like Jesus. And I'm like, oh, you fucker.
Yeah, man.
Also in issue 2, so their ship that they fly is the Marauder, and Beast has retrofitted the Marauder to have a railgun that shoots Juggernaut. So there's this giant alien ship, and Juggernaut's like, hey, so like we haven't tested this at all, and Magic's like, no, I think Beast just built it and said trust him, and Juggernaut's like, I mean, like, if I die, this is objectively pretty cool. And Magic's like, hell yeah, it's fucking cool. So he gets in, and as he gets shot, he yells out, nothing can stop. And then he gets shot, and he yells, the Juggernaut! And then he just blasts through an alien spaceship. And I'm like,
that's hilarious.
And they all look up, and they're like, I guess Beast Railgun worked. I mean, Juggernaut's not flying out in bits. They have, like, cool character interactions like that. And that's why I'm sticking with the book, but I am also like, where's this going? Like, what is the point? You know?
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that's what all I gotta say on it. I mean, like, well, obviously you read the second issue, I haven't yet, but like, I mean, I thought X-Men was fine.
Yeah.
But now to I think the best X book by far, and obviously it's the Uncanny X-Men, and you obviously see here from the cover. It's written by Gail Simone, and drawn by David Marquez, who again love David Marquez. He's one of my favorite artists. In the most recent year, ever since Defenders. I liked his Defenders run that no one read. Just in terms of the artwork, I thought it was really good. I thought it was great. And obviously, you got the roster. You have well, we don't see one character on here, but in this issue, but Wolverine, Gambit, my boy Gambit, Rogue, Nightcrawler, and Jubilee, and then literally like it's a quote my boy Gamer from Deadpool and Wolverine. Oof, you know how long I've been waiting for this. A name for myself here. I was literally like, yeah. This book was great. I had such a fun. It was so much fun, and the character it was very well written. It was fun, well written. Also, like kind of had some emotional weight to it. Because pretty much the book starts off with Logan, with Rogue and Gambit, who are married, which again I always love the reminder that they're married because that's perfect to me. Meeting up with Logan to fight like a dragon in Mexico, and it's like really awesome and really fun fight. And then you get some more heartfelt stuff. Them visiting a kid who is dying of cancer, and then that has a very emotional impact on Rogue, and then with also Nightcrawler being involved with that, and then later on going down to Louisiana, where we get introduced to where Logan and Anne Marie and Gambit are lying low, and we get introduced to some new mutants, which are gonna be a part of the main cast throughout the course of this book. But yeah, I thought this book was a lot of fun, dude. I really enjoyed it, and again, it had the fun aspect of the X-Men, the drama of the X-Men, and the emotional weight. And also, like this, also the introduction of this new villain that like seems to be kidnapping these young mutants for unknown reason. Like,
and I liked her like repurposing the X Mansion as like a prison. I like them fighting Sardarang from he's been on the ship before in Iron Man. I like Gambit gambling with his life to make a deal with Sardarang, where he's like, yeah, dude, I have the other Eye of Agamotto, so if you want a bag, you gotta make a deal. And Sardarang's like, fine, fuck it. Gambit's like, maybe we should go to Antarctica, where you can actually take a nap and no one will bother you. And he's like, oh, all right. And then,
Well,
and then Wolverine and Rogue are like, yeah, Remy's the only person who probably could make a gamble with a dragon and win, come out with a favor.
mhm.
Yeah, no, I like the dynamic between all of them, and I like how they all, because I like how they all feel like the readers right now, where they're like, they had a more palpable sense of, we're so fucking tired of having to like reset every fucking like couple of months. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I didn't really get from the I know that sentiment was actually verbalized in like the X books where Magneto was talking about how he's tired of that. But like this, I actually got like a sense of just like, we are so fucking tired, from like Gambit, Rogue and Logan, where they were just like, they're tired, but like they cannot not help people in need, which is why I was like, all right, this book kind of got me, because when the kids show up at the end and they're like, all right, we don't want to be an X team, but we're gonna be an X team for a bit, and I'm like, yeah. Fuck yeah, man.
And I think it's really cool is theme with the whole thing where like they don't know, Rogue says it a lot, where like how can we even be like, are we really X-Men at this point, because we literally like had everything and we lost it all like during like the fall of Krakoa, and like he's like, I don't even like, we don't even have a leader. And then like, but Gambit's like, listen, like I love how Gambit was saying on the Rogue, like, listen, if me and obviously if anyone would lead us, it would be you, because we have me and Logan always by your side all the time. Like you are like, Rogue is kind of reminding that Rogue is kind of like the glue to like,
they literally are like, Rogue, you're the only one that any of us will like willingly follow.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I like the idea that if Logan like was leading, Remy would be like, man, I don't know about this. But yeah, no, I did like that dynamic, how everyone just collectively agrees. They're like, no, Rogue, you're like the only one that we all collectively trust. I think if it were anyone else, we wouldn't be as down. So I'm like,
exactly.
and I like Rogue being like, because they did all that setup in like the number 0 issues and shit they put out, where they were trying to, you know what I mean, that whole thing where they showed like Rogue and Cyclops being like the pillars of Xavier's dream. And I was like, all right, that's interesting. I was interested to see how they framed Rogue as like a pillar of Xavier's dream, because she wouldn't be someone who I'd immediately think of. But then the more I thought about it, I was like, yeah, no, actually that does make a little more sense. So I'm interested to see where Gail Simone takes that idea of Rogue being a pillar of Xavier's dream in the future as the leader of the new X team. But yeah, I did like it more than X-Men. I thought it, you know what I mean? But also I think it has an easier time, because you do have an issue that's entirely Rogue, Gambit, and Logan and Nightcrawler, which is like, you know what I mean, like the most popular X-Men, whereas like the other X-Men book has to deal with Quentin Quire constantly being in frame and being a shithead to everyone.
I was like, oh, go away. Like,
but I did like this. I did like this a lot.
I do also. I'm getting is like, also we talked about. You mentioned it briefly, but the lady with the returning Xavier's mansion to a prison, that was crazy. And obviously, like, do you have any theories on who her first, prisoner is that she showed at the end of the issue? And you've read the Krakoan Age, so I honestly don't know. So
yeah, no, I honestly don't. I have some ideas of who it could be, but I feel like all of them are wrong. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like they're gonna pull someone crazy out of their ass or something. I'm actually gonna, you know what? I'm gonna look up that first issue and see. Well, because I actually want to see it again and see if I can point out who it is, or just because they were completely in armor, they were completely locked up, so it's a little harder for me to be like, I think it's this. But I'm gonna do some body measurements and be like, that looks like Gambit's body and bicep size or something.
I got you. Well, why you look that up? I mean, but my favorite thing about it, like towards the end, and obviously they're like,
okay, I think it's Xavier.
I was also thinking Xavier, but I was like,
it's Xavier. She says, "Welcome home," and he has the full, like, they're covering his head, and they're like, we're gonna do some remodeling. It's gonna be like Xavier or some shit, and Xavier's gonna be like, oh, and they're gonna have to do some explanation as to why Xavier freaked the fuck out and made Krakoa, because they kind of tried to do that in the Krakoan books, but they never really did. They never really were like, you know, I don't know. I might have to reread some of the Krakoan stuff just so I can like. I'll see if they actually take any of it and use it later, but like, I still also kind of want to just reread it for me because I missed a lot of those books. So, you know what I mean? Like, I completely forgot that fucking Onslaught showed up in the Krakoan shit. You know, shit like that, where I'm like, well, I gotta see how the fuck they used Onslaught. I mean, come on.
Man. But what I was saying before, my favorite part, because they're also teasing another villain that's like hunting down like these young mutants, and we introduce you these 4 new mutants, which are going to be followed up in the next issue. I don't know about you, Seamus, but like I saw the designs and everything, and I was like, this is giving me like Generation X vibes, which I was like, yeah. But yeah, we get introduced to 4 new mutants at the end. So it is one's name is Jitter, who has the mutant power of hyper focus.
Okay.
Calico, who has a psychic connection with her horse Ember. Ransom, who has a black hole in the place of his heart. So he has a black hole heart. And Death Dream, who can go into a death state and can like summon ghosts and stuff.
Okay. So, yeah. I heard about the Death Dream guy because I saw someone talking about it, and I think it might have been previews of issue 2, but I saw some of them and I was like, ooh, that's kind of cool. That's kind of a cool one. That might be a keeper.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. I mean, they all sound cool to me. I mean,
they all sound cool, but let's be real. Hyper focus compared to I have a black hole in my chest and I can enter a like a death state is a little. They're on a different level. Well, I know they're gonna do that shit where like, oh, hyper focus sounds really like weak, but actually, if I use my hyper focus, I can actually build the ultimate nullifier right now. You know what I mean? Yeah. Some shit like that.
Like I'm looking at like the dossier that like on the IG account Derby Comics posted, but like it was like she can literally do anything she sets her mind to, but there's a limit because if she does it for if she does her power for too long, she can like crash, and like that's not.
Yeah. So see what I mean? Like they're they're gonna do some shit where they're like, oh, she built like she rebuilt the Immortus engine, and they're gonna redo an arc or some shit. You know what I mean? Some shit like that. Or they're like,
it's funny because like I think Calico, I think I'm like it's her and then Deathstream are the most I'm interested in, because with Calico it's like she has a slight connection to her horse, but she can turn her horse into like a variety of modes, and one of the modes you see on like the variant cover for number 1 that they dropped for the reprint, like it's literally like her horse looks and herself look like they're like covered in like the Phoenix Force fire. It looks awesome as shit. Like
oh my god.
Like I don't know if like I'll like put my screen. I'll solo lay out it so you can see it. But like I don't know if you can. Oh, yeah, my screen's blurred. Hold on, I gotta.
If you put it directly in front of your face.
Yeah, if I put it directly in front of my face, yeah, it's like I don't know if you. Yeah, you can't even see it. Like it's just.
No, they're blurring. They're trying to. Oh, there you go.
Look at that. Like it's like. Yeah. Like look at that horse, bro. It's literally like that's cool. So I'm curious to see like what other modes like her and Ember can go into. Like I think it's just really creative, and it really reminded me a lot of like it just looks out there. That's like because that's what Gen X was to me. It's like super out there in terms of like the mutant abilities that these characters have, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, bro. I mean, I think we gotta move on. But yeah, overall, also Uncanny X-Men is like it's gonna be one of my go-to books from now on. X-Men, I'm gonna ride it a lot. I'm gonna ride it out for now, and if if it gets better, then I'm gonna keep going. If not, then I'm gonna drop it. All right, bro. So the next set of books, the next set of X books is X Factor number 1 and X Force number 1. And yeah, bro. Which one want to start off with? You want to start with X Factor or X Force?
We can start with X Factor because I just went through that one again. So
yeah, because you just read it. I didn't get a chance to read it. So yeah, what do you think of what was the creative team and what do you think of the book, bro?
Totally forgot the creative team. Got no idea. I'm gonna have to look that up. I don't remember any of these creative teams unless they go on for more than a couple issues, and then I'm like, oh, those guys. But as for the book, I initially was like, That's my issue with certain X-Men books, is that sometimes they got a team where I'm like, I don't care. Like, what the hell am I reading this for? You know what I mean? They got Feral and Cyber and Fire Fist and fucking like Angel I might care about, but you know.
Yeah.
And then as I was reading the book, I got. They boomed me. They boomed me hard. Because it's a plot point. The fact that you don't really care about X-Men at all. Like, you don't really give a shit about mutants. You give a shit about the stories these mutants are telling through themselves. So that's why halfway through the book, like, you know, the original X Factor team go and fight, and they're like, oh, let's save this guy, you know, regular X-Men shit. And then the whole op goes south, and then it immediately cuts. And the guy, it's basically this X Factor is formed by this government agent guy who's basically trying to make a government sanctioned PR mutant team, and he's basically trying to up mutant recruitment to the team, so basically they can legally contain and house mutants in basically like a pseudo prison to study them, but also like use them on missions. And so yeah, the first team is led by Angel, and it has the people I mentioned like Fire Fist and Feral and Cyber, and, you know.
Yeah.
And then they go on that mission. The mission goes awry, and then the recruiter dude who's like trying to like promote the X Factor team so more mutants join it are like, oh my god, people don't actually like mutants. People hate mutants, but what people can't get enough of is mutant drama. Like, people don't actually care about you guys. What they care about is, like, you know, the drama between you guys. You know, they don't actually want to give you rights. They just are interested in what shit you guys get into. And I'm like, oh my god, they got me, because that's exactly what I just said. So then, at the end of the book, they introduce a completely new X Factor team to create drama and to be like a reality show team, kind of like what's it called? Why am I blanking on the team? The team that started Civil War, that Cannonball was on and everything.
Oh, New Warriors.
New Warriors, like a New Warriors reality show type deal. You know what I mean? Where they're like, oh, this new team came in and pushed the other one out. What's gonna happen? And it's all these new members. You know what I mean? And I was like, oh. So that's why at the start I was like, yeah, I don't care about this. And then when they called me out for not caring, I was like, fuck, now I care about this. But yeah, as the writer, I looked up the team. Written by Mark Russell, drawn by Robert Quinn. Mark Russell, I've never read a Mark Russell comic, but I really enjoyed this. So yeah, I was really like, fuck, they got me. So and now that I'm reading like the little solicitation, they literally have like a fame and fortune and mutants who will die, who will fall in love, who will be the first to sell out.
That's such
and I'm like, all right, they got a cool idea about talking about basically how, like, it's a meta commentary on how these X-Men books are about marginalized society and marginalized people, but the books themselves aren't really about the marginalization. They use the marginalization as a point of drama for you to get these books. So it was just why they so quickly turn into soap operas, which are why the X-Men are popular, but also not really why they should be popular, and it's kind of weird. So I like that kind of meta commentary about it. So I enjoyed it more than I definitely thought I was gonna, and I'm excited to read number 2 whenever it comes out.
All right, oh yeah, I'm definitely, that sounds awesome. So I'm definitely gonna check it out.
Yeah,
like, once this is over. But yeah, bro, X-Force real quick. I mean, I'll talk about it because I read it, but yeah, X-Force is, it's written by, I think, Jeffrey Thorne, and then I forget, I don't know who does the artwork on it. I'm trying to figure that out.
It's Eric Arciniga or something?
I think. Oh no, Marcus Toe. Okay. There we are. Yeah, Marcus Toe.
Okay, Eric Arciniga did the covers.
He did the cover. Cool. But yeah, what draw me onto this book, especially this when I found out about it during, like, when they announced more stuff out at San Diego Comic-Con. But the fact that this X-Force is actually led by Forge. Forge is the leader of this one. I was like, that's interesting. Why Forge? And they got Sage, who I've never really heard of before. Tank, which I heard is a fairly new character. Betsy Braddock is Captain Britain, which I love because that was one of the books I did read when Krakoa started. Was Excalibur, and I loved her as Captain Britain.
Excalibur was great.
Yeah, Ascani, which is I think Rachel Summers, right? Because I'm not calling her Penance no more, I guess.
No.
And then obviously Surge and Deadpool. And this book was this book was also fun. This is my second favorite X book. I thought this was a lot of fun. It was a surprise. The fact that like they're pretty much trying to set up Forge to be kind of like an Omega level mutant, which is really interesting. And like trying to exceed. He's trying to actually like exceed his own potential with his own powers. And the fact that he made a kind of like a pseudo AI that like tells him like what to do and like and who to recruit for his team and what missions to go on. Very interesting, and like how he's like navigating it. I think it's really cool. The way he recruits everyone's really fun. I love their interactions are a lot of fun. I do love the fact that like I didn't know that Rachel Summers and Betsy were a couple, which is that's cool.
Yeah.
I love their dynamic between the two of them, their relationship. I love the fact that like Ford is like the straight man, trying to keep everyone in line while like everyone's just like not listening to him and just like going astray all the time. I think it's hilarious. How he recruits Deadpool is so funny because Betsy Braddock specifically said, "I will join. I don't want to join this team, but I will do it because Rachel wants me to. But if I see Wade anywhere, if I just don't want Deadpool on the team, and he technically isn't recruited to be on the team.
No,
he hires him.
Yeah, and even in the like on the splash cover where it has like the team members, it never says Deadpool's on the team. It just says guest starring Deadpool. And then even when he comes in, he's like, "Woo! It's time for your movie tie-in on a mid book that's not gonna sell well." And you're like, "What, dude? What?"
Exactly.
And I'm like, all right, that's funny. And then immediately, Betsy and Rachel are like, "Oh, fuck,
oh my god,
dude."
It's the same thing with Quentin Quire. It's just like,
yeah,
oh god,
I mean, like, fuck. And Deadpool's immediately, when he comes in, he's immediately like, "Have you guys been married yet? And if not, can I join? Can I also get married to you guys?"
Yeah.
I'm like, all right,
just, like, leave us alone. but yeah, then they come across they're in Japan and they come across Surge. And she basically is like protecting a bunch of survivors from this attack from this this symbiote, like this mud, like this. It's like hybrid like mutant creature who was pretty much like a giant kaiju, made out of like mud and shit. And I love that the only solution to like like we can't fight this thing because like it eats material from like matter, so like if we touch it like it'll absorb us. So like, hey, that's why I got Deadpool here. They just yeet Deadpool into this thing, and he's like, oh, it's cool because if it eats your cancer cell, it's gonna just starve to death, and then it'll take only like 3 days, but wait, have fun. Then it's like, fuck you, Forge. I thought that was so funny, and I was like, oh man. But yeah, this book was a surprise, man. I had a lot of fun reading it, and I think the team dynamic is really fun. The interactions. I'm curious to see what they're gonna set up with Forge because it seems like that he wants to amp his powers up to be Omega level, which I'm like, that's interesting.
I'm interested to see where all these books go, but I'm also interested to see how they converge, because I know they're setting up all of these parallels to these books that I'm like, at some point these books they're gonna have some big event or something, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because it feels like it feels like an initiative that's supposed to be like, you can start at any book and read just one and it's fine. But I feel like eventually they're gonna get to a point where they bring them all together in some way, because I feel like it is very interesting that all the books feature someone trying to step up to create the new X-Men, but none of these books are really the new X-Men. Even though, Scott's is called the X-Men, they never call themselves X-Men. Scott's the only one who says we're X-Men, and everyone else is kind of like, I guess.
I guess so.
And you know what I mean? So that's why I'm interested to see if they're going to do anything with that and have maybe an event where everyone has to come together to become X-Men, or or shit like that. You know what I mean? Just throw in like, be like,
They have
oh,
to fight to figure out who's gonna be on like the main X-Men team, pretty much.
yeah. I would even say like, you know, fuck it, bring back someone who's like, you know, wasn't even. This is why I have to read Krakoa again, because I have to see who was included and who just was not at all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they couldn't really do like an Apocalypse event, because Apocalypse just had the Heir to Apocalypse thing. I forget who won that. I totally remember reading that, but I totally forget who's the Heir to Apocalypse. You know, the whole book. Fuck.
So I don't know.
I'm fried, Mikey. I read that whole thing. It's called Heir to Apocalypse. I don't even know who the Heir to Apocalypse was.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I didn't read it at all, but I was planning on reading it eventually, but like just not right now.
Do you care if I look it up? And I won't say it if you don't want me to, but
yeah, don't.
I just gotta look it up for me to understand, to make sure I'm not insane, because I did read this.
Actually, no, fuck it. Who cares? I'm not. I don't know if I'm actually gonna get to it. Like,
who won? Who won? Tell me who won, please. Because I thought it was someone who was like, I was like, oh my god, wait, was it? Okay. I don't care. They give me all this bullshit. All right, number 4. Who became? I think it might have been. Holy shit! Oh, it was fucking He changed his name. He fucking is. That guy's he's now Revelation. Oh my god! I think it was Cypher. Was it?
Oh, okay.
And then he immediately was like, "Yeah, I'm changing my name to Revelation." And he's like Apocalypse, but like he's got his Cypher color scheme where he's like all white and gold. Mm-hmm. And I was like, "Oh, okay." I don't really know why we'd pick Cypher, but I hope someone has an, because I think my issue is that I was like, when I got to the end of that, I was like, is anyone going to actually use him, or are they just going to use Apocalypse? Because Apocalypse is still there. He's still got all his powers and shit. He just was like, I need a mini-me now. So that's what makes me think, I'm like, I don't think anyone's actually going to use Cypher. Like, they might just be like, all right, Apocalypse time.
But yeah, bro, I'm ready to move on. I think I'm good. But I really did enjoy X-Force.
We talked about X-Men enough. I'm sated on X-Men.
Well, I mean, there's technically one more book, and then we'll move on to other books. But yeah, I mean, we'll just move on the next.
Yeah, this is not a book I'm talking about. This is a you book.
Yeah, it's just mostly me. But yeah, the last S books I want to talk about real quick is actually NYX number 1, but also I want to talk about Daredevil number 12 because I thought it was really good. But yeah, it's really simple with NYX. It pretty much is focusing on, it's pretty much the YA X-Men title that they're doing. Again, what Seamus says, they're not saying they're X-Men, but like, you know, they're like, like we're not really X-Men, but we're just hanging out and shit. But it's pretty much focusing on main characters Kamala Khan. And we all love Kamala Khan. And the fact that she's now a mutant, and also she is now returning back to her original Miss Marvel costume, which I think is great. It's pretty much her, pretty much going, like, navigating her life again as now a college student. And then she befriends one of the Stepford Cuckoos, which is I think it's Sophie Cuckoo, who they attend Empire University together, and then it's funny because they actually go into a class involving, like, you know, mutant studies and like Krakoan studies, right? And the teacher is actually the mutant Prodigy, which I thought was like cool because like I haven't seen Prodigy in a minute. And then they encounter Laura Kinney as Wolverine, who is also getting her own solo title, as well as another mutant called, I think his name's like Akole. It's like Akole. He's like some leather dude who like works at a bar. And yeah, it's pretty simple. It's just like these young mutant characters, navigating New York at the same time, while and this is like obviously post Krakoa, so like Orcus has happened, and also there's a lot of like mutant hate groups and stuff like that are trying to hunt down mutants because there's a scheme or like a plot point where a bunch of buildings are being blown up in the name of Krakoa, and and then pretty much it's Miss Marvel and Sophie Kaku trying to figure out, and Laura trying to figure out who it is, and it is revealed to be this guy named the Krakoan, who looks kind of like a Magneto Professor X hybrid, like mashup. And I'm not gonna, and they reveal who he actually is and like who the actual villains are, but yeah, I thought it was really fun. It was a fun book. I just like seeing all these young mutant characters again, seeing their interactions. Like Laura Kinney's pretty much telling like Kamala to like stay out of her way at all times because she has more experience than she does. Also, we do get a cool reason for why Sophie Kaku, like we get a kind of an instance of like we get a mystery of like why is it just Sophie Kaku and like where are her sisters? But yeah, and seeing Prodigy as like the older professor, I think is really cool. But yeah, I thought this book was fun. I thought it was solid. Nothing too crazy, but I enjoyed a lot of the character dynamics and seeing the mystery of like the Krakoan and who the actual villains are. I'll probably say who that is, like to you, Seamus, off camera, but I thought it was really cool. I thought it was really cool. But yeah, so that's NYX number one. And also my bad. NYX is I forgot the creative. Let me get the creative things people know. Hold on, let me just wait for it to load for a second. Come on, book, load up for me now. Come on, baby. Oh, whatever. But it's good. The artwork's good, and the writing is solid. For Daredevil, man, Daredevil number 12, written by Saladin Ahmed, with art by Graham. Damn it, I always forget who the artist. I always refer to him as Better John Romita Jr. But yeah, Daredevil number 12 is pretty much focusing on what the last issue left off is. People that don't know, who have been reading Saladin Ahmed's run of Daredevil so far, which I've been saying it started off kind of but then it became a lot more engaging, halfway at the halfway point. What's it called? Aaron Cooter. There we go. Aaron Cooter is the artwork. Pretty much focusing on, Daredevil in his new life as a priest, running a boys' home. And he is introduced, and the new villains he's facing is actually more of a supernatural threat. It is the 7 deadly sins that have followed him during his adventures, during his escapade in hell at the end of Zdarsky's run. And one of the 7 deadly sins that he's facing, which is the 5th one, is greed, and greed has possessed the body of the Kingpin. So the last issue was the start. It was them leading up to the Kingpin, and him being revealed to be possessed by the demon of greed. But then now this is the actual fight. And this book was dope. It was actually really good. Seeing Matt navigating his new life, and also being come to terms with realizing that these sins aren't necessarily just random demons that have just followed him. They're actually tied to Matt's actual personal 7 deadly sins as a character. And I thought it was really interesting in the fact that I thought the demon of greed fit Wilson Fisk so well, because Wilson Fisk embodies power and dominance and wanting to control everything and control the criminal element. So it fits the fact that he would be the devil of he would be possessed by the devil of greed. And at the same time, obviously we have Elektra joining in with Matt to try to take Kingpin down. And it is so good, and it is a lot of fun. There is also another there's a moment in here, Seamus. Have you read it? Have you read number 12, by the way, of Daredevil?
No. I think the last one I read was 8. I'm behind on this.
Well, I won't say anything more to spoil it, but there is a moment where it was a kind of a callback to Zdarsky's run, where it's oh man, maybe because Matt tries to exorcise Fisk, like he's done with the other characters that have been possessed by the 7 deadly sins, but it didn't seem to work. And Fisk mentions, Greed mentions that, it's not gonna work because the devil, the god has abandoned you. But then we get a nod to the Zdarsky run, where it seems maybe God hasn't really abandoned Matt, and and he is still his his sanctimonious warrior on Earth, on Earth, and is reminded of that through a character in his past, which I thought I would put a smile on my face. I was like, oh my lord. But yeah, man, this book was really dope. And And yeah, I'm just looking forward to seeing, what's going to be coming to next, because we have two more sins left, which is the one sin we haven't seen is sloth, and I think envy, and yeah, we're gonna see where that's gonna go. But yeah, issue 12 of Daredevils, Saladin Ahmed, Aaron Kruger, it's good stuff. And, we got our Musa in here. He's like, is it true Daredevil was created in response to the Kennedy assassination? What?
Dude, what? I feel like that was fucking Russell Westbrook after that guy asked, so did the Pacers win or did you guys lose? Bro, what?
What are you
talking about?
But yeah, I got no thoughts. Just because this is all me. Seamus has not read these books yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're moving on to like the next set of books, and this is now vice versa because I haven't read these yet, but Seamus has. But we'll be talking about Seamus will be talking about Ultimate Black Panther number 7, as well as Ultimates number 3. So Seamus, man, go off. Which one?
All right. I'll start Black Panther because I just read that one, but cool. We're getting into it. We're finally getting into it a little bit. They've been teasing this war with Khonshu and Ra for a couple of issues now. The beginning was a lot of setup. It really was like more of like, oh, here's all the players, here's what's going on, and the end of issue 6 ended with Black Panther actually facing Khonshu and being like, all right, man, I'm gonna fucking fight you now if you keep coming at Wakanda. And so this issue opens with Black Panther, Killmonger, and Storm defending Wakanda from the army of Khonshu. And the entire issue is basically them learning more about vibranium. After their fight, Black Panther meets with one of the matrons that have been, the secret clandestine society of women who have been guiding Wakanda for years and are shady as fuck. But
exactly.
And they relay to T'Challa. They're like, "Ooh, the vibranium might be alive," as the legends say, and T'Challa's like, that's some pretty fucking important information. I don't know why you just now are telling me this. So he assembles his Illuminati war cabinet that he created, and he basically tasks Killmonger and Storm with finding someone who's well-versed in science and magic, which me and Mikey both immediately were like, Victor Von Doom? I don't really know anyone else who's well-versed in science and magic, but go off. So may possibly be getting a Doom cameo because as we have not heard a single word about if there even is a Doom or if the Maker has lasered Doom off the face of the planet.
That's true.
Because the only Doom in this universe right now is Reed Richards' Doctor Doom.
And he's great.
He's great. I love him. God bless him. I feel very bad for my boy. But yeah. And then it ends with another cool fight scene where Black Panther's suit gets charged with Storm's lightning, and he starts like moving lightning fast and doing like these laser moves. And I was like, all right, this is cool as hell. And he frees a bunch of people who were being enslaved by Khonshu and Ra, and he's like, fucking say who saved you. And then the entire town's like chanting the Black Panther and shit, and they're like, and I was like, oh. And then Black Panther's like, Storm, hit me again. And she's like, what? And he's like, do it. And then he gets lasered with lightning, and he's like, I want the entire continent of Africa to see who liberated you today. And then from far away, Khonshu and Ra are like standing on like their fucking mountain top like fortress, and they're staring at the bolt of lightning coming down in the distance. And I was like, oh fuck yeah. And it ends right awesome. There. But I was like, it's such a cool shot. But yeah, I'm interested to see what does living vibranium mean? Like, what is that going on there? Are they going to do some cool shit where like the spirits of the vibranium users are in there or some shit? But yeah, still very strong series. I'm enjoying it a lot. But I have to say, Ultimates number 3, I think, it might be my favorite of the Ultimate books. It's either that or Ultimate Spider-Man. But this issue, man, this fucking issue, Denise Camp has gone 3 for 3 in these fucking issues, man. Incredible.
I really enjoyed issue 2 a lot.
I loved issue 2, and I was like, oh, cool. Issue 3, they were teasing me. They were like, all right. Denise was like, we're starting a Hulk arc. The Ultimates are going after the Hulk first, for they're taking down the Cabal slowly. But the issue is basically Tony, Thor, and Lady Sif arrive on this island, and it was an island that was used for gamma bomb testing years ago. And we get the return of Jonathan Hickman data pages, baby. We're back. And they get there, and immediately you get hit with a big data page that basically explains gamma testing in the region, and how Bruce was at ground zero when it exploded, but the explosion caused a bunch of gamma radiation fallout to basically fall on this island many years ago. And basically it fucked up the entire human population, and it fucked up the entire animal and flora population. And so now they refer to the island as Monster Island, which I was like, oh shit, oh shit, they're doing Monster Island. Oh, cool. But basically Iron Lad and Thor and Lady Sif are basically doing some like reconnaissance on Hulk's domain, and they basically use the gamma readings to be like, oh, I think this was where the Hulk was born. Let's go investigate to see if we can find anything about the Hulk, because we don't really know anything beyond that. He's just a religious leader now. And that's where they find the new She-Hulk, who is this woman who was one of the girls who was there when the nuclear or the gamma radiation fallout fell years ago, and she has now become basically like the protector of the island. And she's like this she's basically like this like when they show her, she's literally like a little Pacific Islander girl, and she basically keeps the same like scheme now that she's like, you know, an adult. She still has all of her like traditional clothing, and it looks fucking cool as shit, dude.
That's awesome.
And they basically go up to her, and Tony Stark has this really cool moment where I think this is the strength of like these Ultimate books, is that they have shades of who they were before they became superheroes. Like Tony Stark immediately shows up, and his first thought is, oh, we can have a Hulk army. Oh my god, this is like the most incredible weapon we can find. And She-Hulk's immediately like, dude, weapon? These are all like horrifically deformed human beings who had their lives taken from them because Bruce Banner just wanted to create weapons, and you think you want to use these people as weapons? Like the last thing these people want are to be used again. Like they just want to live like a normal fucking life. Like and then you get hit with another data page that has it has the most insane line, and I saw on Twitter, it's a real line from actual nuclear testing they did in the Pacific Islands, where they say, I'm trying to find the actual quote. It was like an insane quote that I was like, oh my god, that's like something like a real person like actually wrote during nuclear testing. And it was something to the effect of like, basically relating the people who were exposed as animals to be tested on, and how even though we are treating them like mice, they are closer to humans. And then Denise Camp was like, yeah, I did some research and I found that quote in an actual nuclear testing thing from like 1949. And it's just a straight rip quote, and I was like, that is horrifically depressing. That's like a real quote someone used to talk about another human being. But I love, and it basically ends with Stark being like, She-Hulk being like, you know what? If you want to help me take down the Hulk, if you want me to help you take down the Hulk, you're gonna have to help my people first. And Thor's like, Yeah, man. You said, or I mean, Lady Sif's like, you said from the beginning that you wanted to fix the world, and that's her price is to fix this land. So then Tony's like, oh hell yeah, I'll do it. So it ends with her, She-Hulk and Iron Lad shaking hands, and then Thor's watching on a video screen, and he says, "Assemble the immortal weapons." And I'm like, oh my god, does he have an Iron Fist army? Please tell me he has an Iron Fist army. Please tell me there's like 10 immortal weapons and they're all Iron Fist.
Wait, Thor said this?
No, Hulk said this. Hulk's assembling the immortal weapons.
If I'm telling you right now, if I fucking see Fat Cobra or Dog Breath #1, I'm gonna cry.
I know, right? But Hulk's like
burst into tears.
But yeah, no, it was a great issue. It was absolutely heartbreaking, and it was I just love Tony's like entire character about how he's like still a kid and he still is like, oh my god, I get to have these weapons that'll win, and then he sees the actual human cost of war and the effects, the toll it takes on like the experimentation needed to develop these weapons, and he's instantly like, oh fuck. And Ultimate She-Hulk is so fucking cool. I love her. She's just LaJoy Joyna is like she's instantly one of my favorite characters in this entire series. It's like a great redesign and a great like recharacterization of her. Yeah, I can't wait to see her punch Hulk's teeth down his throat. They really make Banner a piece of shit. Like in those data pages, they really describe how Banner is like he has no fleck of humanity in him. He is entirely devoted to progressing gamma testing. He's not even called Dr. Banner. They call him Director Banner. So it's almost like he wasn't even like a scientist. He was literally someone who was just leading the project. And you get 2 data pages. One is from like a report of the original bombs, and then another is a report of people who are going into the Monster Island to see what happened, like how evolution has changed. And halfway through the second data page, the guy writing it's like, oh my god, I'm part of the experiment. Banner wanted me to come in here to see if we would die, like just to do a test to see how dangerous it is there. And I'm like, oh, this fucking shithead. He's like if Maestro was a born again Christian, basically. He's literally like a pseudo religious Hulk who's like, I love Buddha, but also like I'm a piece of shit who's using religion to like try to cover up the fact that I've like committed horrific sins. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, that's really cool. Hulk really is a piece of shit.
And this one doesn't need people?
No, this one is literally like a religious Buddha leader whose like whole secret is that he like became this religious leader after like lashing out. He basically, it was the way they explain it was that after Bruce turned into the Hulk, the Hulk is not really like an alternate personality. It really is Bruce, and he's just an angry piece of shit who just killed a bunch of therapists. And the only way he was able to be calm is through religion and finding Buddha. But then the way they explain it is basically like, no, he's using religion as a tool to reach more people to come under his influence, so that way he has more power. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's like a conniving little piece of shit. And I'm like, oh, that's so cool that he's just like a piece of shit. Like,
well, I'm gonna definitely check this out now. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
So then, dude, next issue is the fucking. Camp has been teasing this, but it's the fucking Doctor Doom issue where we get more about Reed and the Fantastic Four and why.
Yeah, I want to know.
And why Sue, Ben, and Johnny are dead, even though in Ultimate Universe it showed them living. Like, because in Ultimate Invasion it showed that all the Maker changed was that their flight was later, so they missed the cosmic rays.
Mm-hmm.
But then later he's like, oh yeah, by the way, Sue, Johnny, and Ben are all dead, and it's just Reed. And I'm like, what happened to them?
I want to know. Ever since I found out that like this version of Doom is Reed Richards, I was like, okay, but where's Johnny?
Yep. And then Ultimate number 4 is that, and then Ultimate number 5 is Ultimate Hawkeye. Have you seen that cover at all?
No.
Dude, look up Ultimate number 5 with the Hawkeye cover. He looks so cool. It's like this Native American dude who finds like Clint's shit, and he becomes Hawkeye, and he looks so fucking cool.
That's awesome.
But yeah, this and Ultimate Spider-Man tied for my favorite series in the new Ultimate line. Yeah, it's I just think it's so well written. It's so every issue has a point it's trying to make. It makes it in an intelligent way that also ties back to the story, and it never feels too heavy-handed. You know what I mean? Even the heavy-handed parts of the last issue with Cap, I thought still worked because it's Captain America. You know what I mean? If you're calling a Cap issue heavy-handed, it's like, dude, he's literally dressing up in red, white, and blue. Like, it's supposed to be a little heavy-handed, but yeah. I love this issue.
Also, I do see the Hawkeye. That's actually pretty fire. I'm not gonna lie, that's really cool.
Right.
Yeah, bro. Well, Ultimate Black Panther. I'm definitely excited to read it just because I loved the last issue. Like issue 6 was so hard. Like I loved it a lot. Seeing Raw and Khonshu now officially going to war with T'Challa, and how dynamic between Storm and Killmonger and like their relationship, and how T'Challa's gonna potentially like break that up. That was really cool. The whole Vibranium mystery is awesome. But yeah, this Ultimate issue, you got me hyped. I'm gonna read this like right after we're done with this podcast.
Yeah, like, read that. Have you read Have you read the new Ultimate Spider-Man issue either?
I did. I didn't put it on here because it was that came out weeks ago. So I want to, so I was gonna.
Can I say 2 seconds about it? Can I have a little spiel about it?
Yeah, it's great. Like
I love it. I love how Hickman is literally being like, "Do you guys like Venom?"
Yeah.
Like instantly when he gets the black suit in like the first issue, I was like, "Uh-oh!" And then now he's getting an AI that speaks in black speech bubbles. I was like, "Uh-oh!" And then you read the black speech bubbles, and they're like, "Yeah, we're pretty good at being Spider-Man." And I was like, "Oh, quit it, Peter, get it, stop it! You're gonna do it again."
That's how I know. That's how I know I'm dumb. I did not put that together till now.
Right? And then I'm like, oh, and then the fucking Pico suit's gonna have a mind of its own, and then Peter's gonna have to make a fucking cloth costume with his daughter and wife. Fuck! It's gonna be so good. Dope. Yeah, and then like that whole thing about how like
that thing with Harry was wild.
Yeah, dude. I was gonna say Harry instantly is like, yeah, can I have my dad in the suit? And then
he realized that his dad was a piece of shit.
The ghost of his dad starts berating him, and Harry starts losing it. I'm like, Harry, go 5 seconds without needing your dad to berate you, please. This is an entirely different universe.
I was like, this is such a genius way to like showcase like Green Goblin insanity by having Willem Dafoe be in Harry's head constantly.
I know, like, it's so funny. It's so and I'm good. like, oh, and he's gonna fucking, I guarantee you, there's gonna be an issue where he fucking takes off the suit and he still hears his dad's voice, and I'm gonna be like, fuck, dude, he's insane now, you know?
Yeah, dude,
they're gonna do something like that where Dr. Octavius is gonna be like, Harry, what do you mean you're hearing the AI? I disabled that like months ago, and everyone will be like, oh. But yeah, I'm interested to see how this Iron Lad showing up at the end goes.
That's true. Yeah, I'm also very.
But yeah, Ultimate Spider-Man. Read that as well, please.
That in my opinion is the best book. I think.
Yeah. Also, real quick, just knocking out all of them. Might as well. Ultimate X-Men. Nico Minoru got her fucking staff, and it was in.
It was the fact that that what's that thing? The spyglass or whatever.
Yeah, she had the little magnifying glass, and then she turned.
The fact that like I lost it because like, I'm a huge Runaways fan, so like I literally was like, that freaking magnifying glass was a staff of one the entire time.
Yeah, and I was like, oh fuck, that's cool.
Because I'm so used to like the staff like coming out of her chest, like how it does like in the comics. So the fact that they did it like not in a crazy ass like emo way, just did it with a little hour, with a little
yeah. Cool. I thought that was sick as hell, and I like how they're like, yeah, we're the X-Men because we have a bunch of X's on our test because we fucking suck. It's cool. And that's our secret society name.
Yeah, who do you think this this mutant society actually is? I was thinking it was like a weird, like a Japanese version of like the Hellfire Club or something.
Yeah. My mind instantly was like, it's gonna be like Hellfire Club or something, and you know, we're all gonna go like.
Because I'm forgetting his name, but the kid who's pretty much like the Xavier, he's pretty much the Xavier in a way. It seems like to be a part of it. Like I thought that was really interesting. I was like, that's cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. I mean, yeah, it could be. Listen, I think he's gonna be like, they're gonna do like a weird like he might be a Sebastian Shaw type deal with where Sebastian Shaw had his own like Cerebro thing for a while. So they might be actually setting him up for that. But I know from the solicitations that Psylocke's getting introduced in an issue or two, and then like because I know next issue they're fighting the Professor X kid, because there was that solicitation where like fucking Armor's on a bike with the armor around her, and she's like got like a fucking like mech while she's on a bike. It looks sick as hell. And then next issue was like, oh, Psylocke's gonna be the mentor and leader of the X-Men. And I was like, oh, all right.
Yeah,
Are they gonna have the book that's set in Japan feature a Japanese woman who actually is a white woman in the body of a Japanese lady, or are they just gonna let her be a Japanese lady?
I mean, and it's funny because like they also introduced a version of Surge who like
Yeah.
seems to be like a psychopathic like killer. Like she reminded me of like that crazy chick that was in freaking Kill Bill and like Battle Royale, like who literally just like I enjoy killing people just for the fun of it. I thought that was really interesting.
So I like it. I like the book. It's definitely the most different, so it's kind of hard to put up against the other books because it is like a completely different thing. So I'm interested to see where it goes.
Yeah. Beautiful work though. Like Moko does a really good job like doing interiors.
Yeah, the interiors, the covers, and the writing is all great. It's just such a different book from the other two because the other two are very rooted in like main continuity changes where they're like, oh, it's Monster Island, but done like this.
This book seems like pretty grounded because it doesn't really seem to have like a large set, like a large scope like the other books do. Well,
yeah,
I guess even Spider-Man also I would consider grounded as well, even though Iron Lad does show up and all that stuff. But
yeah, so I'm interested to see maybe how that will get tied in because like I'm not sure how connected that book will be to like other stuff because Spider-Man and Ultimates are pretty connected. Black Panther somewhat tangentially connected, but like because we saw Ra and Khonshu in Ultimate Invasion, but I assume the connection is going to be something to do with Sunfire and Silver Samurai, given that Sunfire's like the leader of like the East Asian portion of the world and he's a mutant, so like it makes sense that eventually he would show up in the X-Men book that takes place in Japan. But
I hope so.
I so far I would recommend everyone buy every Ultimate book, please.
Yeah, it's some of the best Marvel books coming out right now.
Yeah, it's not at all like the original Ultimate Universe because this is actually readable.
Yeah. Yep.
This isn't gross and childish like Ultimate X-Men was. This is fun and cute.
It is. Mm-hmm. It's definitely that for sure, and I really do like it. So I'm looking forward to seeing more. But yeah, Seamus, we gotta move on to the last comic before we move on to like the other topics. But so the last comic we want to talk about, we're pretty much like it's not really a comic, but like an event that just recently wrapped. The event that I've been looking forward to ever since the last podcast we did, where we talked about our best and worst comics of the year. Because this is my most anticipated comic of the year, but it is none other than the event Blood Hunt, which was written by Jed McKay with art by the brilliant Pepe Larraz. So I mean the issue 5 ended. But we'll talk about the whole event as a whole. But what are your thoughts on like the whole event? And also the question, do you read any tie-ins? I only read specific tie-ins.
I only read tie-ins that were related to series that I was currently reading. I didn't go out of my way. Yeah. I didn't read that like free issue Dracula tie-in with Blade's daughter.
Yeah, the only
I think the only ones I read were Miles, Fantastic Four, and Moon Knight. I think were the only ones I read.
Okay, yeah, the only ones that I read were Moon Knight, Miles, and I did read the Blackula. I did read the Blackula. My bad. I did. If he was in this book, that would have been wild.
That would have been hilarious if there's only one man who can kill Blade,
and it is Momo all day.
And it's another black vampire. It's the black vampire.
Oh man, but yeah. So I did read. I read the Moon Knight tie-ins, the Miles tie-ins. Even though I skipped one because I thought one of them was boring. And I did read the Dracula tie-in, and I read the Midnight Suns tie-in.
The Fantastic Four tie-in had the coolest cover and then the most nothing book.
Honestly,
it had that cover. You seen that cover? Reed's getting bit by like 2 vampires. It's that Alex Ross cover, and it was insane. And then I opened the book, and it's literally Reed trying. It's such an insane cover, and then the book itself is like almost like a joke, where like Reed is trying to keep Alicia Masters from running into vampires because she's blind. She can't see the vampires flying in front of her. So he's trying to be like, whoa, Alicia, whoa, hold on, duck, wait, nope. I'm like, oh, this is like a joke at this point. And I was like, and then it ends with and then that issue literally ends with like the big like spoiler of like Doom being the new Sorcerer Supreme, and I was like, oh, okay, thanks for spoiling that. Because it came out a week before.
And that's why I don't read tie-ins.
Yeah, it came out a week before Blood Hunt number 5, and I was like, motherfucker, why couldn't you guys have timed this better if you're gonna do a tie-in, for fuck's sake? But no, so I got that spoiled for me like before I even read this issue, and I was like, all right.
I mean, out of all of the tie-ins, I did feel like that I did think that the Moon Knight one was important. But also, I kind of feel bad you didn't read the Dracula one, because that one was the most important one, because Braille was such a huge of like why of how to like stop Blade, and like that one was one of my favorite ones, just because I loved. It was pretty much just like Dracula trying to recruit Brielle to try to kill her dad, even though she doesn't want to kill her dad, but like she has to kill her dad. So it was a pretty cool. It was, and like Daredevil.
But that's the thing, is I didn't feel like I needed to read it, because in issue 5 they explain it like in like 2 panels where they're like, oh, only someone from Blade's bloodline can kill her, and then Blade's like, oh, I'm not even Blade anymore. I'm a vampire now. And then Miles was like, okay, but you made me a vampire, so I'm part of your bloodline. So bye bye. And I was like, all right, so they just told me the entire Dracula tie-in in like 2 issues.
Yeah,
you know?
but to see Brielle throughout the event and like her journey to like, you know, try to come to terms with having to kill, come to the fact that she's gonna be the only person to kill her dad, because she wasn't accepting it when in the beginning. So I love that, and also like Daredevil was kind of a part on like was kind of had a part in that, because he was like he was one of the characters that showed up in that tie in the second issue, and it was really good. But overall, man, Blood Hunt, I mean, it was definitely worth the hype. I really enjoyed it. It did a great job. Like,
I had fun, but it definitely did feel like a it definitely did feel more like less of like its own event and more like a prologue to that Doom event that's coming in November.
Yeah, like,
you know what I mean?
It felt that way, especially towards the end. I was like, damn.
It felt less like, oh, Blade's getting an event where he's the main character, and more like, we need a reason for Doctor Strange to willingly give up being Sorcerer Supreme to Doom. You know what I mean? And I was like, all right, it was fun. I did enjoy it. I like how Blade was a main character, even though it wasn't even really Blade for most of it.
It was Varney, who hasn't been in the comics in like decades. So
yeah, and I did like how they did reference that Thor did fight Varney like in like Journey into Mystery 64 in like the 60s, and I was like, oh shit, they remember.
Seeing like quote unquote Blade Varney being the villain was really cool. I thought the Blood Coven, even though they like didn't really have much to do, but like I think
the Blood Coven did jack shit except look absolutely insane, and that's all I needed them to be.
They look like Devil May Cry characters. They look like
Devil May Cry. And
it's they so look crazy.
I was like, holy shit! They just got Bayonetta bosses in here. You know,
Seeing all the other Marvel characters that like weren't either in the supernatural or horror space that were like, holy shit, there are vampires. What the fuck do we do? Because they deals with this shit all the time. Doctor Strange dealt with this shit before, so it's just like seeing like the Avengers get washed because they have no idea how to deal with vampires. It was just so great. And all the characters were fun. I thought Miles' tie-ins were good. Like the last one that he had, the last time that he had, I thought was kind of boring. I wasn't really digging it, but the first initial 2 were good. This being a lead up to like Moon Knight, Mark Spector coming back was so good. Like I loved it so much.
I did like how he showed up and he was just like, "Hey guys, I'm back."
Hey guys, I'm back.
Like literally, he shows up and he's like, "Yeah, guys."
And the fact that like they had Tigra, because also Tigra and our boy Hunter's Moon being the main characters of the event, and how they had to break Khonshu out of Asgard and they had to use the fucking record to do it. I thought it was so great.
They use the record because they're like, oh yeah, because that's what I like. Is just little things to be like, oh yeah, someone Jed McKay remembered that the record has an Asgardian crowbar, like, and that can break Asgardian steel. So like, I was like, oh fuck yeah,
it was really cool. And then like, and also like with the other tie-ins, like with the Moon Knight ones, how like it focused on like I remember like the first time was focused on like Reed, Soldier, and 8-Ball. I thought that was so fun and really cool. Yeah, bro. I mean, it's just like also having that time where like in the most recent time with Moon Knight, where it's like Greer and Mark seeing each other for the first time in the Khonshu's like afterlife. I thought was like in his dimension, like them reuniting was so earned. And I was like, yes, because honestly, I wanted them to pull a Daredevil, Zdarsky's Daredevil, and have like Moon Knight like be dead for a while. Like I wanted him to be dead for at least like maybe like a couple more months. But like but just getting back anyway, that was really good. Yeah, and also seeing like him, Greer, and Hunter's Moon, commanding like this army of dead Moon Knights. I thought was so hard. It was so dope. But yeah, I mean, it was dope. I mean, honestly, yeah, it was a setup for Doom, for a Doom event, unfortunately. But I thought that like this book was a lot of fun. The reactions were fun. The action was great. I mean, Pepe Larraz draws the crap out of this book. Like he honestly, like he. It's insane. And then Jed McKay, obviously, pointing out these references to like these other characters and all that stuff really shows how much of a fan of he is of comics. Which we've said before when it comes to Moon Knight, like he brought the whole West Coast Avengers stuff into his Moon Knight run. So the fact that he brought like an old school Journey into Mystery villain for his vampire event, that was really awesome. Also, even though the Midnight Suns tie-in, even though like if that one had the least to do with like what was going on within the main story, but I thought it was still fun because it literally focuses on Tulip, who was one of the characters in the Blade Brian Hill Blade run, pretty much teaming up with Johnny Blaze and Danny Ketch
nice
to pretty much solve, and also another girl who was like a witch who to pretty much get some of these horrors that like these like supernatural characters that are feeding off of the negative energy that is caused by this event, that by the Darkhold to like and exercising like demons and stuff. It was really cool. But it was like the least to do with the Blood Hunt event, even though Vernay does, even though they do discover who is running the show, which is Vernay. But overall, I would give this event. It was a 7 out of 10. It had its flaws, but it was still a lot of fun. This is still the best Blade shit I've read in years, along with Brian Hill's Blade run. You know what I mean? But it's also supposed to set up Blade's his next run that Brian Hill was working on. So I'm really excited for that as well. But yeah, any more thoughts, James, before we move on to like
I mean, I just hate tie-ins as an institution. So
yeah,
let's
stop that. But some of these tie-ins I thought were fun. It's the only time I actually like wanted to actually read tie-ins.
Well, yeah, because it's like an event you actually care about. You know what I mean? Yeah. Of course, you're like, oh yeah, more Blade content. Let's fucking go. You know what I mean? More Midnight Suns content. But I'm saying like, if you really want to make it a line-wide shaking event, just have all the issues stop for like 2 months. Just don't publish anything except the event for 2 months. So that way everyone has to read it, and then you have everyone included, and then afterwards you move on. You know what I mean? Don't have me like trying to read a fucking run, and then all of a sudden there's 2 issue tie-in to an event that I'm like, motherfucker, I don't care. Like I was trying to read that I was rereading Miles, and I was like, there's a 2 fucking issue tie-in to that gang war event that no one read, and I was like, what are we doing, dude? You're forcing me to read gang war events? Come on. just move on, man.
Also, I mean, one of the biggest things that they left at the end of this event was the fact that now that just because Vernay is defeated, vampires are all daywalkers now.
Yeah, that was cool,
like,
and I like how they left Miles as a vampire.
Yeah, Miles is still a vampire.
Miles is stuck as a vampire. Did you read the new issue of Miles that came out?
No, not yet.
Dude, the new issue, they're like, yeah, since you're a vampire, you can't use your electric powers because it might actually cause you to just explode. So, you're not gonna be able to use the venom touch for a bit unless you stop being a vampire. And I'm like, oh, cool. We're finally gonna get some Miles stories where he doesn't just resort to using like venom kamehamehas and shit,
and like
which is interesting. Yeah. Which I'm like, I like the swords, I like the new powers, but I also like how they're like, yeah, Miles, you're gonna have to be good old Peter Parker Spider-Man for a bit.
But as a vampire.
Yeah, as a vampire, and he can still use that invisibility that he never uses, but you know.
Exactly. But yeah, so that sounds like that's kind of a game changer because like,
yeah,
vampires got what they wanted, which is crazy. But yeah, so I mean that's pretty much all I gotta say. I enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to seeing like the aftermath, so like and also
I'm sure that Doom event will probably be fun. I have no clue who's writing it, but I'm
like the Doom event's gonna be good. And also just I'm curious to see like where the Blade series is gonna go from here. With Brian, so it's gonna be a good time. But but Seamus, we're not done with Blade, man. We got like there's like two more topics that are Blade centric.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro. So moving on to the next topic. All right. So I was gonna save this for the D23 section, but I thought it's a little minor, so might as well just talk about it here. But yeah, bro. Did you hear about like there's little rumors going around? Because obviously we got some projects that we complained about weren't showcased at San Diego Comic-Con that they announced at D23. But did you notice that that Blade wasn't one of them?
I did, and I knew they weren't going to say anything about fucking Blade being one of them because they got nothing.
For people that don't know, Blade wasn't announced at. There's no announcement or an update on the Blade film, and this movie is kind of set to release in November. I think I have it up here, November 7th, 2025. Which at this point we don't really know if that's even gonna. That's definitely not gonna make the release date for sure because they've like shot nothing and they scrapped the script like 12 times, and also Bob Iger made a statement. I don't remember when he did it. I don't know if it was last year or if it was recently, but he made a statement that he said that like there's a lot of projects. There are projects that once he became back to being the CEO of Disney after Chapek tried to like milk the MCU as much as possible. That he canceled a lot of projects to like keep he canceled on products that were announced and also products that weren't announced. That weren't announced yet to keep keep things small to focus on quality, not quantity. So the rumor going around is that the fact that he made that statement prior to him asking previous projects, and as well as the mention that Blade is not coming, Blade has not been announced or we didn't see an update at D23. That people think that that Blade is low key canceled. That Blade was one of the products that was scrapped. And just real quick, Seamus, I don't know what are your thoughts on this? Honestly, if this is the case, I'm not surprised at this point because it's been 5 years.
I totally don't believe this. I totally don't believe Blade's been canceled. I think we will only hear Blade being canceled if Mahershala leaves the project entirely, which he hasn't yet officially. So I think if he ever officially leaves the project, then yeah, it's done. They're not going to do it. They're going to give up on it. But as of right now, he's still with the project. I think as of right now, they're probably more looking to push it back again because they did announce a whole bunch of new dates around 2026. You know what I mean? That whole period. So I could definitely see it getting pushed back. And I think what Bob Iger was more talking about was probably more Disney Plus content. Like, I'm going to assume Armor Wars is completely canceled. Shit like that. Because they did announce like 400 TV shows that everyone got kind of excited for. And then immediately we're like, I don't know about that, man. And I assume it's more content. Like, it's more stuff like like Armor Wars getting canceled, Eternals 2 getting canceled, shit that was kind of in the very early pre-production.
Ant-Man stuff
like shit we have penciled in. I don't think it's the stuff like Shang-Chi 2 or Doctor Strange 3 or Blade. I think those are all safe. Those just might get pushed around a little more, but yeah, I totally don't believe Blade is actually officially canceled until they come out with a thing that says Mahershala's left the project,
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, all right, we're done. Back it up.
Rebecca out here being cynical. She's saying that Blade is not happening, just let it go at this point. And she said, maybe I'm just a hater and non-believer, though. You are, Rebecca. You are. You
are, but you're not like an unfounded hater. Like, it's not insane to be like it's not happening given how much trouble it's had. So
yeah, and the thing is that's for me too. I don't think that it's canceled, but I do agree with you that we will be officially, I guess, canceled or scrapped if Mahershala leaves. However, I mean, guys think because Mahershala's not getting any younger. He's almost pushing 60, like at this point. And they haven't really tightened the script down. They haven't, even started. They restarted their pre-production multiple times, which it just bothers me because I don't think it's that hard to make a Blade movie.
It's definitely not. I think me and you could do it on our sleep, honestly.
Honestly,
it's not. It really isn't that hard to make a cool black guy who kills vampires.
I think they're trying too hard to like incorporate into like the greater scope of the MCU.
Yeah, they're overthinking it. They're overthinking it, and they're trying to do a bunch of whole like. But we need to include this. But this contract says we need to do this, and everyone else is sitting here going, "Just have the guy fucking kill vampires in cool ways. Yeah. Like that's all you got to do."
Like I was talking to my boy Kevin about it, and I'm just like, bro, the best thing that they should do, you could just make a vampire hunting movie where a guy's killing vampires. You can keep it separate, just make it separate, make all the horror stuff separate from the MCU. However, sprinkle in little tidbits to remind people, but this is still in the MCU. You don't have to heavily imply anything.
You could they had an easy layup by doing a buddy cop movie with fucking with Kit Harington.
Yeah, they did it in Werewolf by Night.
Yeah, like they could have had a cool buddy cop movie where Blade's trying to keep Dane Whitman in check because Dane Whitman is trying to be like a cool superhero, but every time he grabs that black blade, he goes fucking insane. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it's cool. Yeah. Or like, if you really want it to be tied into the MCU, delay it until it takes place in between both Avengers movies and just have Blade be a bounty hunter on Battleworld. And he hunts monsters and shit. And then just have Blade fight like the fucking Marvel zombies and vampires and shit on Battleworld. And just make a cool thing like that. Like, fucking A, dude. I don't know how... It really is a condemnation of the MCU, the fact that they can't get a concept so cool as black guy who kills vampires in cool ways that worked. It worked in fucking 2001. How can you not get it to work now? Like,
it worked in 98, 2001, and 2004.
It worked three times in the 2000s.
It worked in that freaking Sticky Fingers Spike series too. If they can get it right, they can get it
motherfucker.
Right.
Like, it worked. It worked 2 weeks ago when he showed up in fucking Deadpool, and everyone loved him. The fuck,
exactly.
It's just like, what are we doing here that you guys can't get this cool thing off the ground, but I can fucking watch 8 trailers of fucking shitty Captain America 4.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing? That you're gonna fucking gamble on fucking Sabra being a main character or the fucking Thunderbolts being a main character, but I can't get a goddamn Blade movie for my fucking life. What are we doing? Listen, at least there's something that's coming later that I can at least take solace in the fact that it got announced and they showed a fucking trailer for it. It's not dead, but
Rebecca also said that Mikey's gonna pull out a secret Blade pitch. I might.
Mikey's gonna pull out a secret Blade pitch, which is that Blade gets completely nude and then carries Mikey into the heavens and then says, Mikey, you're Blade now. And then Mikey gets his coat and then Mikey goes like, yeah.
That's all I really want to say with this is though, like, I don't think it's canceled, but I mean, we know it's in the ground once Mahershala drops all the projects, which again, he's getting older, so it's it's more likely going to be the case if we don't hear anything soon.
Listen, I think if this next round of pre-production shits the bed, he's gonna leave, and then we're gonna hear it's canceled. You know what I mean? I think
they just got a new director, like literally.
Yeah, they just got a new director. I think this is gonna be the last straw, and Marshall's gonna be like, all right, if this one doesn't work, I'm getting the fuck out of here because then you guys can't make this movie responsibly. So,
and the thing is, right? Like it sucks because if Mahershala does leave, because he was my first pick to be Blade for like ever since like before the movie was announced that they wanted to reboot it. But like I have an actor in mind who I think they would be a good choice to be Blade, who's relatively younger. But yeah, I mean it is what it is, bro. It is.
I would pick Damson Idris probably.
Damson Idris, he would be dope.
I feel like he has the perfect I hate everyone. Please don't talk to me fucking look about him. You know what I mean? He has that perfect, like, he could instantly turn on like a shut the fuck up, dude. Don't fucking talk to me. Look.
Rihanna, Khadija, Ardell, him. Bodies. That's Blade type shit.
I built this shit. Brick by brick. I've been killing vampires every day of my life. You know what I mean? Shit like that. I think that'd be hilarious. Him or John Boyega would be fun.
John Boyega would be dope. For me, I think I mentioned this to you before, but like my pick for Blade, it's kind of a niche pick because I saw this man while I was rewatching one of my favorite, or I was watching a Purge movie. He was in the first Purge. It was my dude Wyland Noel. Because like, there was a scene in the first Purge where he's in a building taking out like an army of SWAT dudes by himself, and I was like, this is Blade shit. He's
hitting some Blade levels we didn't think was possible.
Yeah. So and he's on the younger side. So I mean, he looks kind of, he gives me like the look that they're trying to go for with like the video game version of Blade with like the full beard, something like that. So like that's what I'm thinking. But yeah, I digress. I think we're good. We can safely move on to the next topic, the next Blade topic. But yeah, this next one, bro.
We got 8 Blade topics coming.
I kind of found this by accident. Like I was just scrolling through my phone, saw comicbook.com posted about it. But yeah, bro. Obviously, we're fans of Expo 97 up in here, right? We love that show. It's one of our favorite shows.
Yeah, we love Blade.
Emmy nominated, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, Beau DeMayo, who was the creator who got who got fired from Disney. Apparently, comicbook.com reported that this man had a talk with Wesley Snipes and actually kind of, in a sense, pitched his own version of Blade 4 to him, which kind of sounded kind of cool. And I have the article over here just to talk about it. But yeah, just start off, it says pretty much Beau DeMayo, like on Sunday afternoon of the convention, pretty much like revealed that his thoughts on a potential Blade 4, suggesting it could be a team up involving one of the House of Ideas' most popular sorcerers. According to DeMayo, a Blade and Brother Voodoo team up could result in some silver screen magic. Vampire dystopia, and he describes it, DeMayo tweeted, quote, "Vampire dystopia where they learned to daywalk and took over. Humans are cattle. Brother Voodoo, part of the human resistance, learns Blade was dissected and entombed and resurrected him so they can hunt Varney and the Darkhold cult to wipe out all vampires. Treat it like Kurosawa." So yeah, after hearing that, Seamus, what do you think of his kind of like his elevator pitch for a Blade 4?
I mean, it's not bad. It's never gonna happen because Beau is never gonna be able to work with Disney again, and B, you can't really, like, as much as I like Brother Voodoo as a character, he's not really like a movie selling character. You know what I mean? That you can be like, good, And even then, Wesley Snipes' Blade, as much as people like him, he is still very much a more niche character. Even his portrayal, as popular as it is, that like he can't really sell any of this to an audience that is new to this stuff. You know what I mean? It really would be a movie that's just for me and you to be like, fuck yeah, Brother Voodoo and Blade, and they're fucking in a samurai movie. Hell yeah! But
yeah, bro.
I like it. I like the pitch. It's just I just know it's never gonna happen. But it would be like a cool little like 12 issue miniseries if you ever wanted to do that. I feel like.
Okay. Here's a funny thing. My secret Blade pitch that I've been kind of building for a while
Mhm.
kind of has an aspect like this. So I was like, damn, Beau DeMayo. But here's the thing, like I was a step ahead of you, my boy. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
so when I read it, I was like, motherfucker. But I get you at the same time. But
Listen, you're not blacklisted from Disney yet, so you can still do it.
I can still do it. But yeah, I thought that was a cool idea, and the fact like incorporated Varney and I think brother. I've never like a Brother Voodoo Blade crossover sounds cool, but again, like they're both. He's a very niche character.
Mhm.
But granted, like it could be like a cool side comic, or hey, like if someone wants to make a fan film of it, I'm down. Like that'd be kind of cool. They can
Yeah.
Spider-Man Lotus budget it like
Oh,
with a
God.
Kickstarter.
Maybe
I mean,
Spider-Man Lotus without all that racism going on.
Exactly. Yeah, I just thought it was cool. Obviously, obviously it's not legit. He's just doing it for fun. But
Yeah.
but also real quick, because they also mentioned a quote that I heard Ryan Reynolds talk about, and it says quote, "There's no Fox Marvel Universe or MCU without Blade first creating a market. He's Marvel Daddy. Please retweet for a Logan-like send-off." And which is funny, which kind of implies that he wants like a Logan type send-off for Wesley Snipes' Blade, which would be cool, in my opinion. Yeah, that's all I gotta say. I thought it was just like a fun topic, because I do like the idea, and obviously Beau DeMayo is a talented writer, clearly, because
but he's not working with Disney ever again after he got fired.
So this is something that we can
I like his X-Men, but like the guy's still tweeting. He's like, Disney hasn't given me transportation to the Emmys for the Emmy award-winning show I created, and I was like, dude, you did not create X-Men, because you are a sequel series to the cartoon, okay? You did write the story. God bless you. It's a great story, but don't be like, I'm the creator of X-Men 97, because it's literally titled after a series from the 90s that was already created. And B, do not, you got fired from Marvel. They are not going to give you transportation. They're going to give you one of these and tell you to get out of their face. Stop, don't be tweeting at them. That's like bum behavior to be like, Marvel hasn't given me transportation to the Emmys. It's like, yeah, dude, they want you to fucking shut up and never talk to them again, Which, we still don't know why, but...
Yeah, we still don't know why.
I everything I've heard is literally just, all the rumors and stuff that I have heard is not anything like horrifically bad. All of it is literally just, yeah, he's kind of an asshole and really annoying to work with. You know what I mean? Which I'm like, if he really is that bad that he got fired, then he must be really just like, oh, dude, one of those guys that you're like, come on, man. Yeah. But yeah, just the way he tweets sometimes, I'm like, I see it. I can see why someone would be put off by him. But yeah, I like his writing. I'm sure if he did this Blade movie, it would be good. But Marvel, I don't think wants him around anymore at all. So
I gotcha. Do you think we will see Wesley in a cameo again as Blade, or you think it's done?
I have literally every Marvel actor ever penciled in for Secret War. But I think Wesley, if he is in Secret War, you're getting about 30 seconds of him doing a cool move. You know what I mean? I think that's a lot of the characters in Secret War, is that you're going to get them showing up. They're going to do a cool move. They're going to be a part of a team from the comics. You're going to see Wesley with Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider, and they're going to be the Midnight Suns. They're going to do a cool flippy do, and then we're going to immediately cut back to then we're going to immediately cut back to another 2 hours of the worst Doctor Doom you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what that movie's gonna be, and everyone's gonna eat it up and be like, yeah. And then I guarantee you, half a month, 6 months later, everyone's gonna be like, actually, that was all right, So.
Yeah. But that's pretty much all I gotta say on that.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's a cool pitch. I mean, obviously he stole from me, but
yeah. He got in your head. He took it from you.
He just took it from me. Yeah. That's my story. I'm running with it, Seamus. But yeah, so just to move on from that, next topic, it's pretty much another small one, but yeah, obviously it was expected. I mean, people that don't know, obviously we did a Deadpool and Wolverine review, I think last week, 2 weeks ago. Obviously we gave it a relatively good review. But pretty much it was as expected, because 3 days ago, Deadpool and Wolverine is now officially a member of the $1 billion club. It reached $1 billion officially 3 days ago from the global box office. So it has grossed pretty much on the domestic box office, so 494.3 million in North America and 535.1 million internationally, for a grand total of 1.029 billion at the global box office. It's a second release of 2024, which Disney Pixar smash Inside Out was with reach 1.558 billion to surpass the $1 billion mark. So yeah, it's pretty much, and it says over here soon it'll probably overtake 2019's Joker, which I was hoping for, which made a gross total of 1.07 billion, which is the only other R-rated film to cross the coveted milestone. So yeah, Jim, what are your thoughts on making $1 billion? I mean, I just want to pass Joker because, like,
yeah, this is like the least surprising news ever. You know what I mean? It's like water's wet. Cool. Yeah, I could have told you it was gonna make over $1 billion. You know what I mean?
A lot of people didn't think. Some people didn't think so. Like, I remember, like, John Campea was thinking that it was gonna make close to $1 billion, but not reach $1 billion.
John Campea is a bum, dude. John Campea is a bum. God bless him, but like, that dude leaked No Way Home set photos with his watermark on them like an idiot, and then got blacklisted from Marvel. Yeah, no, you did, like, it's a nostalgia cash-in of, look, we finally have Deadpool and Wolverine in the same movie. It's called Deadpool and Wolverine, and other characters might show up. Like, of course, it was going to make $40,000 billion. You know what I mean? It's just an easy layup movie that's like, yeah, you know, like, go watch the review for my thoughts on it. You already know how I feel. It's a lazy movie, but like, it works.
I'll put a link somewhere so people can check it out if I haven't seen it.
Yeah, they can watch me for like 2 hours, just be like, this movie's lazy.
But yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say. That's pretty much all I gotta say, and it's pretty. Yeah,
exactly. Like, it's not surprised. Yeah.
But yeah, to move on. But yeah, bro. So today there was I guess a surprise, because I didn't really care to see another trailer for this. But yeah, this morning we got a second trailer for.
Oh Jesus Christ! I forgot. I watched this and I forgot about it already.
Exactly. We got a second trailer for the highly anticipated Sony. So what's the universe called? The Sony Marvel Universe of Spider-Man characters that we can't. I
don't know, like the Sony fucked up universe, or like
the
Sony shits the bed universe or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, but we got a new trailer for.
I think the universe is called Venom, and that's it.
Yeah, the universe is just Venom.
The Venom and that's it universe is what we're calling it, because we don't care about any of this other shit, man. Oh, but are you gonna play this live? Because I will kill myself on camera if you do.
Honestly, I kind of am curious if you actually do it.
Yeah, dude. Look, I got these right here. I'm ready to fucking. I'm ready. I don't want to watch this at all.
Listen,
I don't want to. This is barely like.
Just be grateful that I didn't put the trailer for like Agatha all along, because I don't give a shit about that show at all. So
listen, at least that has a fucking silly like vibe to it. This just like the most generic fucking rated R action. It felt like I was watching the trailer for The Beekeeper, but instead of actually being a beekeeper, he was like had the powers of a bee and was sprinting everywhere. You know what I mean? It was just like I watched this literally. It was literally it said all it needed to say when I saw that Sony decided to drop it at 3 a.m. You know what I mean? Like, that's all I needed to know, is the fact that Sony felt most comfortable showing this off to the world when the majority of them were asleep.
What was asleep? Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like by being like, all right, let's drop this at 3 a.m. Hopefully people won't realize it dropped, and hopefully people won't realize it's coming out. It just looks so boring and so ass. Like, and it's like, even in the context of a Spider-Man adapted story, Kraven only really has one good story. You know what I mean? All you do with him is Kraven's Last Hunt, and then you fucking let him die. You don't fucking bring him back for Grim Hunt or anything. You know? And they're using like they're trying to stuff as many Spider-Man characters into this movie so that way Marvel can't use them in Spider-Man 4. And it's like, dude, what the fuck are we doing? Like, do you guys really want to spite them that much that you're using Chameleon and Rhino and Kraven in this fucking movie? Because it's not going to make any money. You're just going to make fools of yourself. shit in the bed in front of everyone and then going, yeah, look, we spited them. And it's like, no, dude, you just shit the bed. You just look like fools in front of everyone. What are you doing? You know? Okay, and like Venom's ending. They can't bank on Venom making back the money because this is the last fucking one.
The last one.
Mikey, they've been doing Venom for like 7 years at this point. We've had 7 years of Venom solo movies.
That's crazy.
It's like it's like we're done with it. And now they're gonna just be doing these other random solo movies that are gonna come out once every 2 years, have the lowest score on Letterboxd for the year, and then they're gonna keep doing them for no reason because they don't even make money back.
That's
you know?
True.
I don't know. This is just so shit looking. I feel so bad for Aaron Taylor Johnson because he's such a good actor, and I really hate that. I really hate that his agent keeps trying to sabotage his entire career. But you know.
Well, here's the thing, right? I'll play it. Obviously, we're gonna talk over it because, like,
no, don't fucking play this shit, dude. I can't even do it. I can't even have you play it. It's so bad because no one needs to see it. No one watching this needs to see it. You don't need to see it. It just looks so generic and bummy. He's just running around with no shoes on for like 2 minutes, and then at the end, the Rhino shows up and he looks like Peter Malark when he was fucking disguising himself as a rock. It sucks.
Okay. All right, I won't play it, but. I'll say this though. I mean, obviously, Seamus already said a lot, but obviously, like knowing the Sony Marvel universe of Spider-Man characters without Spider-Man, literally, like it's been Venom, which has been the better ones, obviously, which have been the most fun.
No, Venom's not even better. Yeah, Venom is like just fun. Like they know that they're shit movies, so they're like, we'll have fun with it. And then guess what? Everyone loves that shit because it's like, oh, cool, great. We know you know your shit. We know your shit, but you're having fun with it and being like, we can be goofy with it. But then these movies try to take themselves so seriously and be like, we're an action franchise actually who's serious. And it's like,
yeah. And then Morbius came out, and that was also like terrible. And then Madam Web came out, and that I've already stated this multiple times. Madam Web is the worst movie of the year.
My letterbox literally says, I can't believe there's 2 of these Sony movies releasing this year. I totally forgot Madam Web was like the first movie of this year. But but my I saw that movie. It was one of the first movies I used my AMC A-list for, so I saw it for free. And my Letterboxd review is a 1/2 star, and it says, "I really wish I could get my free back."
Oh man,
I'm so fucked.
That's
dude.
So funny. Yeah, that movie. I think it was like I think it was like fuck John Campea. Even though I love John Campea, but fuck John Campea. Like because I'm the proponent of like if you could release Madam Web, you could release Batgirl. That's how bad Madam Web was.
If like Sony felt comfortable releasing Madam Web, and I'm like, Warner Bros. I assure you, after seeing Bad Boys 4, I assure you, Batgirl was not that bad. Okay, I assure you.
John Campea was like, y'all need to let it go. If Batgirl wasn't released, that means it was awful. I'm like, how would you know?
Yeah, John Campea. Let's fucking trust David Zaslav, who has showed great judgment over the past few years. I'm sure he made the right choice and totally hasn't lost Warner Bros. Billions of dollars by purely being a fucking incompetent asshat. That's why, because I saw that clip you're talking about where John Campea was like, we need to let it go. It must have been really bad. And I'm like, no, the fuck it wasn't. Dude, they're about to not release a live action Looney Tunes movie that is by all accounts incredible because they are so fucking incompetent. They don't have enough money to release any more movies. You know what I mean?
It's crazy. But yeah, but then obviously with Kraven the Hunter, I mean, I love Andrew Johnson. I've loved him ever since Kick-Ass. Like I it's just he's a great actor, and I feel bad that he's in this movie because he doesn't deserve it. Like it's just like when you go from Bullet Train to this, and then
dude, I would have rather him just kept being like fucking weird Quicksilver than do this shit. Like really? Like I would have much rather than bring back his weird little. You did not see that coming?
And here's
Quicksilver.
And here's the thing, right? Like with the first trailer they dropped, I was like, this looks bad, but like it's Sony cheese. And it's rated R, and I'm just like, okay, that gets me a little bit intrigued. But after watching this trailer, I was like, you know what? They're really trying. I told it in the chat. I was like, they're really trying. You're trying very hard to convince me not to bootleg this movie because I thought this trailer was a lot better, and I was like, okay, like this is cool. Like I'm like he's doing animal shit and like he's killing people, and like we see a little bit of Rhino in there. I thought that was really cool. But like it's just, I'm just like, but like we don't need this. Like it's the same thing with Madam Web and like Morbius. Like we don't need this. Like we don't need this at all. But I do think that like, most I'll be entertained by this movie, and that's what I'm hoping for. You know,
and like look, the tag. This is my issue with all this fucking Sony bullshit. The tagline of the fucking poster says "Villains aren't born, they're made," and I'm like, not a single one of these characters has been a villain in their own fucking movies. They've all been anti-heroes, and also, who are they a villain to? Because you can't put the guy they're a villain to in any of these movies, so they end up not even being any kind of villain. They end up just being boring anti-heroes that would have been fucking chopped and like, they would have been left in the 90s where they belong. You know what I mean? It's just so fucking like trite and boring. The fact that they're like, yeah, look, these guys are villains, and it's like, okay, if they're villains, then show me who they're a villain to right now. I dare you. I dare you to be able to put Spider-Man in this fucking movie.
but I mean, also the fact that also Russell Crowe is in this movie, I always forget about it because I'm like, wow, like that, like why?
I think they should have switched it. So Russell Crowe was playing an old retired Kraven, and Aaron Taylor Johnson's playing like the son of Kraven.
That's what I thought they were doing, right? Like,
no. Fucking Russell Crowe's playing Nikolai Kravinoff. He's playing like the unnamed dad who also like fucking sired Chameleon.
I got you.
You know what I mean? And that's why Chameleon's in this fucking movie. That's why. And then they got Kraven's wife Calypso in this fucking movie, and they got fucking Rhino for no reason. And it's like, what are we doing? None of this makes sense.
Calypso in this movie bad as hell, though. I'm not gonna lie, man. It's just
it's just like. And then I watched that trailer, and it was like it's like generic action that I was just like, this isn't. You know, at least like the only other generic action movie I remember being released this year was Beekeeper, and I loved Beekeeper because, again, like Venom, they knew they were like kind of a shitty action movie, and it was just Jason Statham killing people and making bee puns for like 2 hours. Like by the fifth, when he's assaulting like the president of the United States' like Cape Cod Manor making bee puns, I was like, this is like a 5-star movie in terms of fun right now. And Josh Hutcherson plays like this weird little nebbish, like, I'm a millennial kind of like, you know, a character, and Jeremy Irons is like his butler, who's also like his dad, who's like, you have to shut the fuck up and leave the room or I'm going to hit you.
But here's the thing, right? Like, after seeing the abomination that was Madam Web, I do think that like I do genuinely think this movie is going to at least be either at maximum at least entertaining. That doesn't have to be great or good. It doesn't.
Yeah, listen. That's just like saying shit's better than diarrhea. Like, of course, man.
It comes to show that like they push this movie back a lot because it's coming out in November, which is a bad, December, because like there's so many other movies coming out in December for this year, and so it's a bad spot. So probably no one's gonna see this movie at all because of it.
Yeah,
but it's just like I genuinely hope that this movie is like at least entertaining and I like have fun with it. Like, and it's. I'm not expecting it to be great at it but it's just, you know, it has to be fun. And because I do think that like Aaron Taylor Johnson for me sells the look he looks great like in the costume as Kraven. Like he actually looks really good. So like, you know, it's just we'll see. We'll see what it comes to. See what happens in December. But yeah, people will just let us know what your thoughts on the Kraven trailer. If you watched it, are you excited for Kraven? Are you not excited for Kraven? Like let us know in the comments.
If you're in the comments saying you're excited for Kraven, get ready to get bullied.
Rebecca's like, Mikey, guarantee Mikey's gonna bootleg this at least 3 times, probably.
I know he's gonna bootleg it like 3 times, and he's gonna try to make it like Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance, where he's like, guys, it's actually fun. And then I try to watch it, and I'm gonna be like, dude, this makes me want to die. Like, come on.
But yeah, bro.
I remember that when you were in your dorm watching Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance, and I walked in and I saw Idris Elba doing that fucking accent, and I had to leave. And I was just like, fuck, dude, get the fuck out of here.
You love it though. You love the movie.
I was like, I can't believe Idris Elba's here with that fucking silly accent again.
You love the movie though. Don't get you cannot tell me you don't. Love
Okay,
it.
the only reason I like that movie is because he starts fucking using he starts doing like the Ghost Rider construction equipment, and I was like, fuck, dude, that's lit. Shit.
But yeah, so that's pretty much it. We're gonna move on to the D23 stuff real quick, and I gotta like figure out how to like move to the next slide without this trailer playing. There we go. All right, come on, baby. Yep, next one. All right, yeah. So moving on to like now the D23 Expo stuff. And we're gonna run through these like fairly quick. I mean, fairly quickly though, just for the sake of time. But well, fairly quickly. But yeah, so D23 happened this weekend. There's a mix of, obviously we're gonna talk about most of the Marvel stuff, but there's two non-Marvel things I want to just mention real quick before we start. Well, number one is that they're doing the live action remake for Lilo and Stitch is in development, and they pretty much did a little teaser of like the animated realized version of Stitch. Seamus, what do you think of this? I thought this it creeped me out a little bit. Then I was like actually saw it like in motion.
I only have like pure hatred and disdain for all these Disney live action remakes because they are all so vastly inferior to the originals that it's just like such an obvious cash grab. You know what I mean? And it's depressing. It's depressing that this looks exactly like the Sonic fucking trailer they released like years ago that they had to change because it looks so bad.
That's a stretch.
It looks very similar to that Sonic design. But it's just like, why? I'm just gonna go back and watch Lilo and Stitch because guess what? It still holds up. It's not like outdated. It's not. That's the thing about animation. Animation rarely can get outdated. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I feel like Lilo and Stitch is not even that old. I watched that growing up. I'm fine. I'll just go watch the original movie. I don't need this.
Lilo and Stitch is like one of my favorite Disney animated movies. Like I love Lilo and Stitch. And just like I don't want this. Like I never was like
Yeah, and it's always like, who is this for? And you know who it's for? It's for dumbasses. It's for fucking idiots who are like, I remember that when I was a kid. I want to go see it now because now it's going to be real. And it's like inherently dissing the art form of animation because they try to basically make it seem like every animated movie they've ever done is basically a spec movie for a live action adaptation at some point. And it's just depressing.
I was telling Rebecca, like the only Disney, I guess, technically counts as the only live action Disney film I like genuinely loved. Like I think I still say I love it. Is the first Maleficent. I love that movie a lot because it was a remake, but like
I like Angelina Jolie. All right, I think that was all right.
I went in a different direction, and I love the little twist with it. I thought it was really cool. I thought it was really dope.
See, but that's also different because it's not even that's not a direct adaptation. That's a different. It's a live action movie, but it's from a different point of view. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. There's a reason for that one to be made because it's like, okay, it's not exactly, you know what I mean? It's not exactly the story, you know. It is a new twist where it's focusing more on Maleficent than it is, you know. That's why I'm okay with that one. And the only other one that I actually didn't mind was Beauty and the Beast, and that's only because I'm a Dan Stevens stan. So that's the only reason why.
Andy Corner, he's dope.
We love Dan Stevens in this house.
But that's all I gotta say. I'm like,
But yeah, no, this is never gonna. I'm gonna like see clips of it, and I'm gonna go, wow, I should go watch the original movie. You know.
But yeah, the next one I want to talk about real quick was that they had the Disney Pixar panel, and our boy Brad Bird got up on stage and announced that they're making a third Incredibles film. Yeah, and I was generally like, yeah, like I'm
yes, sir. I'm with it
because The Incredibles is like literally my favorite Pixar film of all time. I love The Incredibles so much. I thought Incredibles 2 was actually a really solid sequel. Like I really enjoyed Incredibles 2.
I liked it. I did like it. I definitely felt like I think some people were a little too. I don't want to say hard on it, but some people were a little too like they didn't like it for reasons that I was like, I feel like that's pretty minor. Like it was pretty fun. It definitely wasn't as good as the first one, but I still felt like it was a definitely a worthy sequel to The Incredibles. But,
definitely, because I thought it was a hard thing to top a movie that is so well praised and like literally a decade after its release. So I was like, but they managed to pull it off well and tie in some stuff from the first one. And obviously, like, it's funny because like remember the video game Rise of the Underminer?
Oh
like,
yeah, dude, I played the shit out of that as a kid.
Yeah, I love the fact that like I find it hilarious that like we went through an entire video game of like the Underminer attacking like their city and then like they handled it like in a few minutes. I was like, damn. Yeah. Like not Rise of the Underminer not canon. Wild. But
insane that they wouldn't canonize a game from 2005.
I know, right? But yeah, like, they didn't really announce anything else. They just said, yeah, it's in the works, which is great.
Yeah. I hope.
Here's the thing, right? For me, I was gonna say this real quick.
Yeah.
I want this to be the last one. Don't make another one after this. Make it a trilogy.
Make this the last one. Age up the kids, so maybe like Dash and Violet are in college, and like, you know what I mean, like. Do some fun shit.
Have Violet in college. Like let Dash be in high school. Like, and have like, Jack be, what would he be like in like elementary school, middle school, I guess? I don't know.
Yeah. I think you could put Jack in like middle school and just have everyone be like, I know he's supposed to be in elementary school, but
Yeah. Well,
it's animation. People won't really scrutinize if you want to make him a little older and be like, oh, one of his powers is he ages a little faster. You know what I mean? Or whatever.
Right. And here's the thing, right? I'm just popped in my head. I'll pull this question to you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they'll go with a brand new villain, or this would be like kind of the return of like Syndrome, like getting his revenge?
I hope they go with a brand new villain that Syndrome has to help the Incredibles fight.
That would be better. Never mind.
I hope they basically just do like, the classic Magneto has to join the X-Men to help fight against someone else. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that would be fun. That would be fun to see someone who, you know what I mean? Like, and I feel like you could do like because I definitely think Syndrome will come back in this one to be like a little like, whoa, oh my god, a little nostalgia pop, but also like, I feel like it would be fun. It would be fun to see him come back.
I also forget that who voices Syndrome. Freaking was it dude from the View Askew universe.
Yeah.
Jason Lee. I did not know that Jason voiced him like for years. I was like, huh.
Dude. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you watch Alvin and the Chipmunks and not hear him entirely.
But yeah, Incredibles 3. I'm looking forward to seeing the development and hopefully seeing footage. But
I'm glad to see Brad Bird back directing movies. I'm
excited to see Brad Bird voice Edna Mode again.
Yeah. I think Brad Bird should have gotten Fantastic Four, but maybe that's just me.
That would have been great, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
He'd been a great choice. But he hasn't really done live action, has he? He only really done like animation.
We'll say he's only done animation.
Okay.
I don't want to talk about Tomorrowland at all, but we'll move on.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
I don't want to talk about this.
But yeah, to move on. So, Seamus,
Mm-hmm.
We're going to go on to more of the Marvel projects. Going from least, anticipated to like most anticipated. But
I can't wait to see what's first, so I can possibly yell at you.
Yeah. So yeah, I kind of lied earlier where I said that like I didn't have the Agatha All Along trailer.
Oh, you do? Oh.
I did. Yeah. So yeah, Agatha All Along, people, they had dropped the new trailer for it. And the thing is, we're gonna have to watch this one because I haven't.
No, we're not. No, we're not. Well, you can just not watch it and be like, "Well, it's here. Here it is. See you guys." Because we're not watching the show. We don't have to do anything, Mikey. This is our show. We can do whatever we want.
I know it's our show. We can do whatever we want, but like content, Seamus.
Who's this for? No one's coming to us for the Agatha trailer. Okay, if anything, they already came to us for that Blade discussion we just did.
That's true.
That's what they're here for. We've cultivated an audience of Blade fans. Okay, they don't care about Agatha.
Okay, how about this, right? How about compromise? We watch the trailer and I will give you a one-word thought on it and then move on.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, fair enough. Because I haven't seen it yet, so he's trying to milk you for actually bet your ass.
I know he is, and he's gonna try to fucking post this, and it's not gonna do shit because it's Agatha. It's not fucking Doctor Doom reaction.
fucking no. But
you get more clips of me doing a fucking Doctor Doom impression. I guarantee you get more views.
But all right, real quick, we'll just watch this fucking trailer real quick, and then we'll just. I'm looking to a one word. I'm gonna do a one word reaction. Just move on. Like, you think I'm playing? I'm not.
Yeah, no, I am. I'm only saying one word, and that's it.
Yeah. All right, people. So we're gonna just be checking out this new trailer for Agatha all along. Apparently, they did like a whole musical number for like a new song that they did at D23 for the series. So with Catherine on.
I was gonna say if it gets really good reviews and it's like, oh, it's a fun musical that's original, then I'll check it out. But like,
because here's the thing, right? Catherine Hahn is a great actress. I like Catherine Hahn.
I love her.
She's fun, and I did like her as Agatha, but I never asked for an Agatha show because it's not going to connect to anything in the future of the MCU at all, right? This is just a runoff of Bob Chapek's plan to milk the MCU. So like it's just
Yeah, and also like Wanda's dead, so like who cares?
Yeah, so that too. But yeah, so we'll get right into it, people. Just do that. We're not gonna full screen that. We're just gonna do it this way. All right.
Who's been messing up everything?
The Covenless Witch.
It's been Agatha all along.
No. What really happened to you?
Yeah, I'm already like, yeah.
Seekest thou the road to all that's
Silver
She took every little bit of power I had.
Gather sisters far.
I'm assembling a coven.
We gotta get back on top.
She's in this.
I'm gonna walk the road.
Join me.
Darkest hour, wake thy power, earthly and divine.
The Witch's Road will give you the thing you want most. If you make it to the end.
The road is a death wish. Heard you guys were having a party.
What's up?
Hey. Shall we? It will test us.
Oh, this is September. So you're talking about
and our knowledge of the craft.
We don't even know what we're up against.
Our worst nightmares.
How do we pass this trial without any power?
We survive, like witches have been doing for centuries. What happens next? I just need these witches to take me to the end.
The bodies are really piling up.
Why do you let them believe those things about you?
Because the truth is too awful.
I want my prize! Time to finish the road.
Last one there is a nice person.
Follow me, my friend, to glory at the end.
That's all right.
It's fine.
It's fine. but yeah,
oh
bro.
shit, dude.
What's up?
Dude, they got like I'm at the end of this, and they got like a 3-way conversation between Galactus, Mephisto, and Thanos.
That's actually kind of hard. That's kind of
And
hard.
Silver Surfer's just standing there like, I should not be involved in this.
I mean, more of the story is with Agatha. I'm gonna watch the first 2 episodes, and then it'll determine if I'm gonna continue the show or not. And then, yes.
Look what I got here. Look what I got here, Mikey.
What's up? What's that? Oh, Midnight Suns.
This is the Midnight Suns' first appearance, motherfucker.
That's so funny. That's dope.
Lilith is in here, motherfucker. I got that good shit. I'm reading Morbius right now.
That's hilarious. I actually have those issues too. But yeah, bro. I mean, is that kid playing Wiccan? He's playing Wiccan, right? Like that's clearly, like he's Wiccan.
Yeah, it's Wiccan, and I'm sure, fucking the Quicksilver kid or whatever the fuck his name is.
Only highlight for me with this though, before we move on, that one actress, she's a comedian.
Aubrey Plaza.
No, not Aubrey Plaza. The black girl. I
Oh
forget her
yeah.
name. She's so funny. Like I've seen her stand up before. And
Yeah, no, I like her. I like Aubrey Plaza, but this show is just it's not for me. So like,
yeah, it's not really me either.
it's for people who were big WandaVision heads, and I don't even know if those people even exist anymore because WandaVision was like 5 years ago or something.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. What's her name? Yeah. Sashir Zamata. That is her name.
Mhm.
She's hilarious. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Move on. But yeah, so the next thing we're gonna talk about, people, is again, this is also very brief. But it is kind of a just a new look at Red Hulk that we got. Because obviously I react to the Captain America Brave New World trailer. Seamus and Rebecca gave their thoughts when we did the when we did the After Dark following that reaction.
Mhm.
But yeah, it is God damn, I hate when fucking Google Slides does this shit. It's so annoying. But yeah, well, we got a new look at some footage of Red Hulk. So now we actually got the actual face and frontal look of him now. And I saw it. What was fun the image, but I tried to find the image that you grabbed of the Nymphomaniac. Like,
Oh my god, yeah, the
was
Nymphomatic
so
trailer.
funny.
It totally looks like one of those fucking posters from Nymphomatic, though.
It does. But yeah, bro, real quick. I mean, like, I remember seeing the footage for this like on IG, like the leak of it. What do you think about this? Because it's what I expected it to look. To be honest with you, like it looks like
It's what I
young Harrison
expected it to
Ford.
look, but I am very saddened by the fact that Hulk doesn't look like a monster anymore. He just looks like a CGI version of the actor that's playing them. You know what I mean? Like I miss when Hulk looked fucked up a little bit.
Yeah, you missed it. Like when they did like the Incredible Hulk, where like he didn't really look. He looked he had a resemblance to Ed Norton, but like he didn't look exactly like
He
Ed
didn't
Norton.
look at like him at all. You know what I mean? He looked I like when Hulk looks very different to the person playing Bruce or whoever a Hulk is. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm just like, I am not surprised, but I am a little disappointed. You know?
I got you. Yeah, I mean, it's
I don't
just.
know. Do you think? Do you think they're? Do you think they're even gonna bother to do Red Hulk's flame powers at all?
I mean, there was a shot in the trailer where like the White House exploded.
So you think that? I hope that's him. I hope
Yeah.
that's not just Sabra bombing the White House for. You know.
I hope that's actually like him using, because like that's what I mean, that's something that's cool about Red Hulk, is the fact that like, you know, the madder he gets, the hotter he gets, you know, and he has like the flame power. So like,
yeah,
I hope that they do that. Like, why not? Like it just, you know, he's just another Hulk ripoff. I think like a Hulk just clone at the end of the day if he doesn't have like the flame powers. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean it's cool. I mean, like, it just looks like young Harrison. He looks like Indiana Jones, but red and just bigger. That's what he does.
Yeah.
It's just like, dang.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it is a little disappointing. It doesn't look like a monster. It just is like, oh, looks like CGI Harrison Ford if he was big and red.
Mm-hmm. I do like the grays though. I do like the grays on the side of this on the side of his head, like on the hair.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Nice. But yeah, isn't it kind of funny to you? Like I always forget. I think I mentioned this in my reaction to it, but I always find it hilarious that like Red Hulk, like especially when like I love when Ed McGuinness draws Red Hulk, right?
Yeah.
It's just like Red Hulk looks so menacing and just huge and just crazy and like insane in the comics, but then like at the end of the day, he just reverts back to an old ass man with a fucking porn stash. Like,
yeah,
I think it's hilarious. I think it's so, you know.
It's too bad we don't have the porn stash anymore, though.
Nah, I don't think Harrison Ford can grow one. To be honest, I don't think he got.
Yeah, well, he doesn't even have it in the movie, so we're fucked.
But yeah, overall, I would say like
overall it is not stirred. I feel no emotion toward this. This is like, you know, this is like if you showed me a sentence in Mandarin, I would just be like, I don't know, man. I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like I am not. I'm a big. Listen, I'm a big ass fucking Hulk fan. I have a Hulk encyclopedia that I got when I was like 4 years old on like that bookcase over there.
Mm-hmm.
And even this doesn't do anything for me. If this was like, if this was like Zemnu, if this was the UFOs, if this was like Radioactive Man or like Zack, if this was any of those guys, I would be lit as hell. I would be like, holy shit, Marvel's fucking going in on the Hulk. You know what I mean? But like, it's not anyone that I care about. Red Hulk's fine.
Did
And
they
it's
reveal
important.
that Hulk's gonna be in this? Like Brandon's gonna be in this movie? I think that was that
I don't
was
think Hulk's gonna be in this movie. I'm gonna be honest with you.
mhm.
He
Yeah.
might be, but like, I don't know. It just doesn't. It already. I don't see why he wouldn't, but I kind of don't want him to be because the movie already feels bloated enough. And with all these Hulk characters, it would take away from Sam's first appearance as Captain America in film to just basically be a Hulk light movie, which it already is, which sucks. But at that point, it would straight up just be a Hulk movie, and it'd be like, all right, this
Yeah.
sucks. Poor
I
Sam
would
can't even get his own fucking movie.
I would be fine to have Hulk show up in this movie. However, if they bring his bastard son with him, they better fix him because I'm gonna be pissed if they don't.
The biggest bastard son. Yeah, dude, that was so fucked up what they did with Scar. I'm still so happy about that though.
Fuck you. But yeah, we're gonna move on to the next topic.
Yeah, get me out of here. I don't want to talk
But
about nymphomatic Hulk anymore.
yeah, but yeah. So real quick, obviously the one of the most surprising things about the convention. Again, I was surprised. I thought they canceled this, but we
Yes.
did look at we fuck you, Shaven. We did
Fuck you.
we did get the cast of Ironheart to show up, but not just
Yes, sir.
just them. You got Ryan Coogler as well.
Oh.
I was
Who's
very
that on stage, Mikey? Who's that on stage? Is that perhaps Anthony Ramos with the Hood?
Ironheart, the main character, Riri Williams. Yeah, Dominique Thorne. Yeah, she's in it. The star. Clearly. But yeah, also Anthony
Come
Ramos
on.
as the Hood. Yeah,
Come on. See, your guy got fucked over, and my guy got the best treatment he possibly could.
Listen,
Your guy was a CGI Mark Ruffalo mini me with the worst fucking cut I've ever seen in my life, and my guy literally got one of the most charismatic men in cinema to ever be his character, and I'm like,
yeah, like here's the thing, right? Like I'm hoping to God that like he looks dope, but I hope I hope the character like it still gets washed, like character development wise.
no.
Like,
I hope he looks cool,
make
and
me
he's like,
happy.
and he's just like a little like piece of shit that gets washed immediately. You know what I mean? Because that's who the Hood is. He always tries to act big, but he really is just like still a low level thief at heart who can't help but like just try to double cross people because he's so insecure. So I hope I have full faith Anthony Ramos will be able to play a dashing rogue who's also a shithead at the same time very well. So I'm very happy my boy got some representation finally.
but pretty much like we have like Ryan Coogler showed up and like the whole cast. I'm forgetting who this other actor is, but I've seen him in a lot of stuff. Like but he's also a very good actor. But yeah, man, it's pretty much them. Then they dropped them some footage, and it's pretty much like the whole idea is that like the whole entire footage they dropped is like teasing the risk Riri will take to build her own like Iron Man suit. And I didn't see the whole thing. The only clip that I saw was like her like about to get hit by a truck, and then the suit like comes on, wraps around her real quick, and she like stops the truck and flips out. That was really cool because her suit looks kind of like Iron Man mixed with like Samus, like like Metroid type shit.
Yeah, no, I did like that. I like that they're. I like that. Did I see what?
The footage that they leaked? Did you see?
Oh
that?
yeah, no, yeah, I watched it. I liked it. I liked what I was seeing.
Let us know.
I liked what I was seeing. I definitely like that they're grounding Riri a little more and making her more of like, all right, now she actually has to build her own suit instead of using all the shit from Wakanda. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm very interested in the way that I am interested in actually watching the show more than any other like Disney Plus show that's coming because it's like even though I don't really care about Ironheart in the comics, I think the concept that they're going with and the footage that I've seen so far at least has me like interested to see. And like Wakanda Forever was a great movie, and I loved her in that. So like
I did like her in that.
You know, I mean, that's already a good start. And Anthony Ramos as the Hood, that's one of my boys. So like, yeah,
Listen, man, that's it. Like, I'm pissed that you got the Hood, but like, I love me some Anthony Ramos, dude.
You're pissed that my boy that I had repped for many years is getting such a good treatment while your boy Scar got shafted so hard.
Oh my god. But yeah, man. And the thing is, like, isn't that the whole idea from what I heard from like rumors and stuff that like it's gonna be like a cross between like science, like tech, and like magic in a way, like the super.
Yeah, I heard.
This is why the Hood shows up. Yeah.
Yeah, and I heard Mephisto was in this show, so we'll see.
Who's that actor? Like, who's that actor that is with them? Maybe he's playing Mephisto. Because let me see. Let me look him up real quick. Ironheart. Cast. All right, there we go. Yeah, Aldrin.
Alden Ehrenreich, yeah, the guy who
Ehrenreich,
was in Oppenheimer and he played Han Solo.
Yeah, Joe is.
No,
Yeah,
he's playing.
he
He's playing Obadiah Stane's son. That's who he's playing. He's playing Obadiah Stane's son, who's trying to take Ironheart away from Riri and use it as his own.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. That's what a
I
Stain
totally forgot he was in this, but yeah, no, he's playing. Yeah,
that is what a Stain would do. Okay, that makes sense.
I assume he's gonna be like he's gonna end up being Titanium Man or some shit like that.
Hey, listen, man. I even though that would be kind of cool. I always thought that like Justin Hammer would be great for Titanium Man though.
They're not bringing back Sam Rockwell for fuck's sake. Even though Sam Rockwell is constantly like, I do it.
Mm-hmm. You don't want to see him do the shuffle again? Come on now.
I do want to see him do that fucking shuffle in a suit. Give him an Iron Man suit and let him do that fucking shuffle again, and then make.
Okay. Apparently, like on the cast book, and this is from like Wikipedia, so like or like off of Google, but it said Sacha Baron Cohen is listed.
It's Mephisto. Yeah, it's Mephisto.
Like I also was told for the past like few years that like he is rumored to be Mephisto.
Yeah, which is a great Mephisto. So that's why I said he's in the show, because I did hear that Sacha Baron Cohen was playing Mephisto, and I guess it make more sense for Mephisto to give the hood his hood than Dormammu at this point, given that Dormammu is not really a person.
Act like King Julian the entire time, but just like as the devil.
That would be hilarious if he was just King Julian. But
here's the thing with me that I didn't understand. Like, because I mean, I love me some Ryan Coogler. Is he a part of the show in any way? Like, he's like one of the showrunners? Is he? I
thought he was just producing. I think
he's producing it. Okay. Yeah, because I mean, because he introduced Riri in the MCU, so like I understand why he was there. But But yeah, I mean, I've been listen, man. If he's a part of it in some way, I mean, I have that gives me more faith in the project, because I mean, he's Ryan Coogler is extremely talented. So
yeah,
but yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say on Ironheart, man. It like from the footage that I saw briefly, it looks cool. From the synopsis, it looks cool, and the fact like the cast is interesting. Like I don't know much about like these other characters that they're showing off. Like these other two lovely black queens over here. But I don't know what characters they're playing, but
yeah,
I'm more intrigued a little bit, from
I mean, listen, this show definitely has a better head start than at least Agatha or any of the other shows we got announced so far.
I honestly thought they were gonna scrap this show. Like I honestly was like,
I knew they weren't gonna scrap it, because they dropped they had those leaked set pics from a while ago that they were filming, and I was like, all right, they already filmed the show. It's more just a question of when it's getting dropped, not if, because they already did it. So that's why I think Armor Wars is canceled, because they haven't filmed any of that or talked about it.
Exactly. So. Do you think that like I know how you see Riri, make it with her like her newer like kind of like more grounded suit, which looks really cool, but you think she's gonna get the actual like official Ironheart suit? In the comics?
Yeah, she's definitely gonna get like the sleek one.
You know what I would would you rather have her get like the one that she's currently wearing like in the Champions, where it's like the pink black more sleek look, or do you want the one where she was like in the Invincible Iron, when she was the Invincible Iron Man and had like pretty much like a female version of like the Iron Man like red and yellow suit? I actually like that one a lot.
I like that one. A hot take though, I would like the pink and black one.
Interesting.
I think here's the thing, maybe the pink black color scheme with the design of the Iron Man one.
Okay.
I think maybe that would be a better fit.
I wouldn't go with pink, because I thought her having the red in Wakanda Forever worked the best. I don't know if the pink would work well.
The red looked too transformery. It looked too plasticky in Wakanda Forever. You know what I mean?
Okay. They can make it work. They can make it work if it's the pink, but like it has to be like they had like hot rod red for Iron Man. They have to have like a kind of like a hot red.
They gotta have hot pink. Yeah, it's gonna be hot pink
version. Yeah,
hot pink and black would look sick.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's probably all I gotta say. I am now more curious about this show.
This is on the list of. I don't think anything talked about has me excited, but there are two things that have me very cautiously optimistic. So,
yeah. And that's the thing too. Like I don't want to bash like almost like like the character sucks. Like no, like Ironheart in Wakanda Forever, like Dominic Thorne's performance as Riri Williams made me love the character of Ironheart more. I did not like Ironheart at all, like when I was in the comics. So
I mean, like Marvel comics at least have like completely kind of forgotten about her. They don't really care about her anymore. So
yeah, I mean, I didn't like it when she was on the Champions for a little bit, but yeah, I didn't really like the character. But then Dominic Thorne's performance, I thought was phenomenal. So that's why we're really drove here. So I'm looking forward to seeing her again, which is great. So, and then she deserves it. I mean, she's a good actress. And I loved her in freaking Judas and the Black Messiah, like when she was in it.
Yeah, she was great in that.
But yeah, all right. So Seamus, we're gonna move on to the last topic. And obviously it is the topic that we have been we were waiting for a little bit. Now I mean, like, because this is the segment of people that are new to our channel and aren't used to us, our rambles and our rants and all that stuff. But this is the segment of the show where we talk about Daredevil for the next 3 hours. We're talking about Daredevil, Born Again, baby. Let's go. All right. So this was like the only panel where I was like, yes, like this is the one that drew my attention immediately because obviously we know about the scuffle when it came to when what was it last year, 2 years ago when we talked about Daredevil Born Again, from the San Diego Comic-Con panel where they announced like 400 projects, right? We were excited then, right? But then we heard about the actual when it was gonna be like 24 episodes or whatever, which is like insane. And obviously not really feasible now once you think now in hindsight. But we were excited, and then obviously it filmed last year, like early last year, and obviously we heard that the rumors about this series that it was mostly just a kind of like mostly a procedural law like drama, and he wasn't gonna be Daredevil till like the end of the show, which is crazy, and also the fact that it's not connected to the Netflix shows at all. Like Karen and Foggy, who I've said multiple times while talking about Daredevil throughout my career, my time podcasting, they are integral to Matt Murdock's character. You cannot have Matt Murdock without Karen Page and Foggy Nelson, and obviously with Deborah Allen Wool and I always forget the actor's name, but they complement Charlie Cox so well to the point you can't have a show without them, in my opinion, which bummed us out. And also they casted new people to try as new characters, as well as they casted new actress to play Vanessa Fisk as well, because it was mostly just Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio coming back, stemming off of Hawkeye, as well as and She-Hulk, right? And the direction of the show clearly wasn't working. And obviously with Bob Iger coming into as CEO of Disney now, also giving Kevin Feige more control, they decided to do the smart thing. And you know what? They thought it wasn't working, and they scrapped it. And said, we're going to start over again. And they made the decision, which again should have been their first decision, and this is the best decision, to finally acknowledge that the MCU and the Netflix shows are in the same universe. It is the same thing, right? Which kind of cemented for me, because remember on Disney Plus where they had they had the MCU timeline, and they had the place which called the Defender Saga. It was real to me that they finally were going to make that choice, acknowledging that the Netflix shows are canon, was when they incorporated the Netflix shows into the MCU timeline. I was like, holy shit, it's happening! Yep. And as what happened, so they're going they're pretty much continuing where the Netflix shows went off, and they finally brought back Deborah Ann Wool and Eldon Henson. I just remembered his name now. As Foggy and Karen Page, as well as John Bernthal reprising his role as the Punisher, and also most importantly for me as well, he wasn't on stage for this. I wish he should have, but Wilson Bethel reprising his role as Dex, who will finally become Bullseye. Finally, I've been waiting for this shit for 4 years. Daredevil, right? I
know.
Even though the costume does look a little whack, but it's okay. I'm just happy he's back. But yeah, man, it is. Our dreams are finally coming true, Seamus. Finally, we're gonna be getting our continuation of the Netflix show. It's gonna be rated, and they dropped an official trailer, a trailer just for D23. I have not seen it, but from what I've heard from it,
you didn't see it?
I did not know. I'm waiting, dude. I want to wait till the official.
Oh,
trailer.
you're waiting. Okay, I was gonna say I put it in the group chat. I was like, I thought you would have been on that.
I saw it and I was like, you know what? I kind of want to wait to see the actual
Okay.
HD version for myself. But I did hear people talk about it though. But the main thing about it for me is that people said it feels like the main thing that they captured is like they captured the spirit of the Netflix shows to a T. It's like they never.
It feels pretty close. It does feel pretty fucking close in terms of like vibe.
And
everyone looked good. All the sets look really good. I was very like impressed at how good everything looked. At least
I did see Kevin Feige's tweet where he just said like, you know, Charlie Cox is like the best actor to play a superhero ever. Like which we know because we've seen him grow as Matt Murdock and embody that character, so that makes sense. Also want to talk about real quick, this logo is fire.
Yeah, I love that logo a lot.
I was hoping for like, you know, them using like, you know, the traditional Daredevil like curved logo like they did in the Netflix shows. But I do love the fact they incorporate like, you know, the cityscape within, you know, within the bottom of the typography and the board. I was like, this looks hard. Like it looks like it's sick. But yeah, man, it's the show's coming back. The characters are coming back. Cast coming back, but also they also revealed, which again I knew from leaks previously to the show, and I think an artist actually dropped concept art recently for it. But the main villain of the season is not obviously Bullseye is gonna be coming is coming back, and also Kingpin, Wilson Finnison Offer is coming back. The main villain of the season is actually gonna be Muse, who was a fairly new character. He was introduced in the Charles Soule run in 2013, which is also is a good run. I actually have a page. Did I tell you I have a page? That when I met Ron Garney, I have a page of
Did you give you a page?
Not a full page, but it's a scan page though.
Yeah, a little.
Still, you know, it's still 11 by 17.
That's nice.
Of like my favorite page in the first issue of his Daredevil run. I love it. But Muse is going to be the villain, and he was released in the 2013 run and during Marvel Now. And I didn't read that far ahead into that arc. I kind of stopped for a time after that run, but like I heard he was a cool character. But
he's very cool.
Yeah, what are your, because actually Shay, give me a crash course. But what is for people, from myself and for people that you know don't know about the character? Who is Muse in the Daredevil world? I love his design too. Cool
Muse is basically like they just
he's like Onomatopoeia, but for Daredevil.
It's kind of like an artist serial killer, like literally, like exactly what you think when you think of like someone who's an artist and a serial killer. Although I do like his mask reveal, kind of like when he finally takes off the mask, you're like, oh, I don't know why you were wearing a mask anyway, but yeah, I like his whole MO is basically like creating murals that point to murders that he's committed and everything. And like his only his powers are a little like I'm a little like, really, dude? Because his powers are like he has imperceptibility, so his body acts like a vortex of like senses, so he can pull every bit of sense. He basically is like a giant black hole in Matt's senses. So Matt can't really sense him or like use his Daredevil senses on him, which and he's like he is, so that's why he's like he's got like some like insane like speed and strength. So like he kind of comes at Mark or Matt after he's like, oh, look at my Muse, my mural looks so cool, and then he's like all of a sudden teleports behind him and is like, I'm gonna kill you now. But yeah, I'm sure you're gonna see him do some art and some murals and shit. But yeah, he basically he becomes like an anti-hero later when Fisk gets elected as mayor. So I assume that's where they're going with it, is that they aren't doing the Devil's Reign kind of Mayor Fisk arc yet. I think they're starting Born Again with this Charles Soule run, and then the next season after will be like the Chip Zdarsky run.
I gotcha. But yeah, that's gonna be interesting to see. But the thing is, it kind of sucks. Like I'm curious to see. Like I'm gonna actually reread the Charles Soule arc because I haven't read it since I was in high school. But I'm curious to see like how, after hearing what you said about him, like how they're gonna do do it in the show, if they're gonna actually like have him have abilities or not, if it's just a regular serial killer. I don't know if they're what they'll do, but great, because in the MCU now they can do more of the enhanced, person stuff.
Like, I assume he's probably going to be just like a master combatant that also like Matt can't really sense, because they're not going to even say it's a superhero. They're probably just going to say he's so weird Matt can't even sense him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But also some things that I heard from the trailer as well that they acknowledge, but the fact that we're gonna get our first introduction to White Tiger in this.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I saw the costume, and I remember the same artist who did the Muse concept art dropped concept art for that. It's just like a dude in a fucking hoodie, like a hoodie, like makeup hoodie, but he has the amulet though. That's gonna be interesting. Because I don't really know much about White Tiger, so like I'm not really like crazy about it, But also, like, here's the thing with me, Seamus, right? Like, obviously, we talked about when we did throwback to when we were on Student to Shield, and we did the remembering Marvel Netflix podcast.
Oh my god, that was literally like, what's that, like 5 hours? Holy shit!
That was almost 3 hours. It was.
I thought that felt like 5. I remember I was sick doing that panel, and I had to drop out in the middle of it because I was like, I am about to. You know what it was? I dropped out during fucking Iron Fist because I couldn't do it.
You couldn't do it anymore. Yeah, it was
Iron Fist, and I was like, I can't. I'm not strong enough.
But yeah, bro, we talked about like what the plans they had originally for like a Daredevil season 4. I'm kind of a little like butthurt that like we weren't gonna get Typhoid Mary, because Typhoid Mary was the next villain before we saw Bullseye come back in 5.
I think that Typhoid Mary might still be here. I wouldn't.
You think it might be still Alice Eve? Because I hope it's Alice Eve.
I wouldn't discount anything showing up, because there's a lot of episodes of this show, and I think they are going to be showing you only what they want to show you.
Yeah.
So I think saving Typhoid Mary, because as soon as Typhoid Mary shows up, it really signals a lot of different stories happening at once. So
yeah, I gotcha. But yeah, I mean, I'm definitely excited. I mean, the release date they confirmed for it, for March next year, so it's gonna be happening fairly soon.
Yeah, less than a year, man.
So it's gonna be a good time, bro. I mean, also think if they're gonna do some stuff from a Charles Soule run, listen, bro, I want to see my boy Blind Spot, man. Do him, might as well. Samuel Chung technically exists in the Netflix universe. He was in Iron Fist, like he was.
Yeah. And like Blind Spot is very integral to Muse's whole arc, so like kind of would have to.
Like I feel like it's about time we have Daredevil have an apprentice, have a sidekick. Like I feel like they could make it work. Have him use his dope ass costume and suit that runs on like 30 AA batteries.
Oh my god, that'd be hilarious.
Dude, but yeah, man, I do some Blind Spot in there. That character needs more love. I'm surprised he hasn't shown back up ever since. I'm happy Zdarsky used him at the end of his arc, which I thought was
great. Yeah, that was good.
But yeah, man, Daredevil Born Again, bro. March, bro. I'm ready, bro. I'm ready. And then it's funny because like I heard John Campia, and I also from an article that like now that like the hype for Daredevil Born Again has been a thing, and like obviously like Disney and Feige have a lot of faith in the project. Clearly, there's some talk about maybe like potential other shows coming back. And obviously like Mark Coulter at a premiere for that Mark Wahlberg movie or whatever. He got asked if he would come back before he was asked like a few months ago and was like, oh yeah, I'm not really thinking about it. I'm just doing my own thing, doing Evil and all that stuff. But then now, ever since now, because of the hype, he's like, oh no, I'm actually kind of more open to coming back now if Disney will allow it. Yeah, what do you think? You think if this show does well, we'll probably see the rest of them back?
I mean, I don't want to spoil anything, but I've heard rumors for a long time that Jessica Jones does show up in this season. So
a friend of my boy Kev, when we were doing our drink and draw on Sunday, he also mentioned he had a rumor that like instead of doing a Luke Cage show or an Iron Fist show. They're just gonna combine them and just do Heroes for Hire as a show instead.
Yeah, I mean that'd probably be more exciting. I'm watching. By the way, I'm watching the trailer right now. As we go there, I forgot. There's a shot where they have like 8 different Daredevil masks, and they all reference like 8 different of his costumes and shit.
Really? Even the yellow one?
Dude, they got the Shadowland fucking mask there, and I'm
You're
like,
lying.
ew, don't do that.
It would be cool though, because like we've seen the set photos for like the new costume, which again, if he doesn't get the double D at the end of the show, I'm gonna be pissed. Like because he needs it at this point.
Daredevil has to earn his double D. Also, there's like literally a shot of him just like fucking some lady, which is hilarious.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, we brought sex back to the MCU, Mikey.
Let's go.
We're back. Matt,
let's go.
It started with She-Hulk. It continues with Daredevil.
Matt Murdock smashes. Come on, acknowledge it.
There's also a scene where like he's holding a gun, and I'm like, what is that?
Wait, question though. Do they use this suit though from the Charles Storm? I actually really like the suit.
I think that's a shot in there. Also, here's another thing that's very interesting.
Yeah.
They brought it back. They brought back the rabbit in a snowstorm painting. And guess what? Guess what it still has? It still has that blood splatter from the end of season 3.
That's crazy.
There's a shot of him of Fisk and Vanessa having dinner in front of it, and I'm like, oh my god, because I see it, and it's even though it's in like
recasted her.
Even though it's I don't think they recasted her actually. I think it's the same girl.
They brought her back. Sorry.
Yeah, they brought her back. But I'm saying, even though it's in low quality, I still am like, I instantly was like, holy shit. Oh my god, they brought back the rabbit in Stone Store. That's so cool. It's a little fucking.
When I was bored in Hell's Kitchen. Oh man, I can't.
Yeah, but yeah, I do like how they're setting up Fisk and Matt working together a little bit to you stop Muse or whatever. But there's a scene in the diner where they're both talking, and I'm like, oh fuck, dude, that looks so cool. Yeah, and then like the whole end of the trailer is Matt like beating the shit out of some goons, and also like him in the Daredevil suit beating up Muse. He's going hard on his fucking face too. Oh my god.
Who's playing Muse? I heard it was the dude from Wednesday. That dude from Wednesday. The kid,
yeah, he probably is. I don't know why Kamala Khan's dad is in the trailer though. I don't know what he's doing here.
Might as well, man.
I mean, no, not might as well. Didn't he get caught sexting minors? Do you not hear about this?
No. Tell me off camera. Tell me off camera because we gotta close it out, bro.
Right.
But yeah, man. Overall, man, Daredevil Born Again. It's a double thumbs up. I'm ready for it, bro. Give it to me now. I want it now. But
yeah, I need that shit.
Honestly, bro, Seamus, I might check out that trailer though. Like,
the
more you talk about it, the more excited I'm getting, and the more I want to watch it. So, but yeah, man, Daredevil Born Again. We're ready. March 2025. I'm ready for it. We're definitely, there's gonna be a reaction for the trailer. There's gonna be a review for the show. Like, we're ready for it. I'm so excited. But yeah, bro. Man, that's so before we head out, do you have any recommendations? Any more comics or like a movie or TV show you want to recommend to the people?
Fucking read Ultimates, please. Please support the Ultimate Universe. Please. I need I need this shit to go on for like 8 more. I need it to at least go on until we get through with them counting down the months. Because I think we need what? This new issue said there's 15 months left, so that means there needs to be at least 15 more issues of all these books until we get to the fucking Maker returning. So please give me that at least.
Yeah. So Seamus recommended more Ultimate stuff. I'm gonna actually recommend an issue, actually technically 2 issues. Seamus, I don't know if you've read it yet. I don't know if you're caught up, but so the issues I want to recommend, because like even though this came out like early last month, they've been sticking in my brain a lot because it was so good, and it was kind of the redemption for a little bit of like this arc because it was so slow. But it was so slow for a while. We've talked about it in the past. Yeah, where I'm going to be recommending for people to check out, for people who have read this series already. But I'm going to be recommending Radiant Black 29 and 29.5. This shit was insane. This shit was nuts. Like it because we complained about how the Catalyst War was getting a little slow because we just didn't know where it was going until both these issues came out, and we're just like, yeah. This is yep. We're back in because the series was losing me for a little bit for a little while, and I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to continue with it. But then both these issues came out, and I was like, yep, done. Sign me up. It's a wrap. Literally, it is the kind of the climax. It's the climax to the Catalyst War event, and now we're going to be. This is now we're getting because with people I don't know, like there was before the Catalyst War started, there was a vote for who wanted to be Radiant Black. If it was going to be the main character who we stuck with for a little bit, Nathan, who started out as Radiant Black, and then his predecessor, I was about to say Malcolm, but it's not Malcolm. Crap, you know what I'm talking about, the best friend, as a new Radiant Black. Obviously Seamus, who I think Seamus, you voted for. I was gonna say Malcolm, but it's not Malcolm. Damn it,
Marshall. You're thinking of Marshall. Man.
Marshall. Yeah, you voted for Marshall. I voted for Nathan. And you did you read these issues yet?
Not yet.
Dude, you're for a treat, bro, because it's literally like you're gonna like when we were talking about how are these storylines gonna converge because they're giving us two alternate timelines of each person as a Radiant Black. You're gonna lose your shit. I'm not gonna lie to you. You're going to lose your mind again because it was incredible. In terms of Marshall's timeline and also Nathan's timeline, it's crazy, and I'm looking forward to seeing. I don't know when it's gonna drop, but I'm looking forward to seing how it's all gonna end.
I was gonna say, have they revealed who won yet?
No.
Okay. All right. Kyle Higgins is keeping it close to the chest so far. I'm excited.
But yeah, it's amazing. It's so good. If honestly, I kind of had to go down the list to see because honestly, if I was gonna read Moon Knight or whatever, or the issues that dropped, like Transformers, those are probably what I would be recommending. But this one I was gonna recommend also Daredevil, Woman Without Fear, the spinoff that's happening right now with Elektra as Daredevil is also really good as well. She fights Crossbones and it's hilarious. And also the new Punishers are going to be tying into the storyline. And I haven't read a lot of the new Punisher at all, so he's going to make a guest appearance I think in the next issue. But yeah, so that's my recommendation. Radiant Black 29.29 and 29.5, as well as also Daredevil, Woman Without Fear as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it, people. James, any final thoughts before we move on? Or before we close it out, anything you want to add real quick?
Support comics. Buy that shit.
Support comics. Buy that shit. Support Kraven. You don't have to, but
don't support Kraven. Don't do that. Don't do that.
What else? D23. Good announcements. Those are some solid announcements.
Yeah, I like that.
It was a good reminder that some things weren't canceled.
Yeah, I didn't like that footage they showed of Thunderbolts at all.
I didn't even want to talk about it because I'm sorry. Thunderbolts asterisks.
Yeah, Thunderbolts asterisks. I didn't like any of that footage. I don't like how Taskmaster looks still, so that movie's dead to me. And I like that little tease of the Fantastic Four costumes they gave. I thought it was really cool.
It in there because it was super minor, so I was like,
yeah, it's minor. I just like how it looks. I like how it's like a classic. It's gonna look so cool when he flames on, and it's gonna look exactly like classic Human Torch with the lines. And I'm gonna be like, and I'm gonna be fucking. So that's the other thing.
Because a lot of the concept art that they showed, like the promotional where they had the Human Torch, I think it was like for Valentine's or something like that. But he has the lines,
and that's why I'm like. I'm gonna be fucking. That's another MCU project I'm cautiously optimistic for. It's like Daredevil, Fantastic Four, Ironheart. Those are the only three I actually care about right now because those things have shown me stuff that I'm like, they might be cooking a little bit right now. They might be. So.
Yeah, well, most definitely. I'm definitely looking forward to Fantastic Four for sure because it has a strong sense of direction. That's what we said last podcast too. It has a strong sense of direction, and it's just like, and I'm loving where it's going. For a lot of really interesting creative choices that they're making to make it different, but also make it as faithful to like the golden age of Fantastic Four as possible, which I think is really cool. But yeah, I mean that's all I'll say. I mean, it was overall it was a good deal. D23 was solid. But yeah. But that's pretty much it for me for us people. Thanks for everyone who are watching this or will watch. We appreciate the support on YouTube and on IG. Feel free to if you feel free to on YouTube hit the subscribe button to check out all of our other videos and all the new content. Hit the notification bell so you know when to get our new content drops. People on Instagram, if you go on YouTube and type in at the Indie Corner, and I will put it in the thing just so that people know. At the Indie Corner on YouTube, and subscribe. Really appreciate it. You'll find all of our content on there. Check out our last podcast reviewing Deadpool and Wolverine, as well as the previous podcast talking about the San Diego Comic-Con stuff. Check out obviously Deadly Clash. Check out the rest of the Corner After Dark. Check out the One and Done. Check out the reactions and the interviews as well. Again, there's more interviews that I'm planning in the for the rest of the year. Deadly Class will come back. I'm trying to maybe do it this week, but if not, because it's gonna be super hectic, I'm gonna have to pivot it next week. So it'll be coming. Deadly Class will be coming back soon. Also, be on the lookout for all the other content as well. And yeah, people as always, we appreciate the support as ever. I mean, it means a lot that we're people are actually watching our shit. I know it's been a little slower because we're just super busy, and also like sometimes doing YouTube is hard. So
sometimes there's just not shit to talk about, and then we're stuck here to be like, all right, there's been like one issue of something we want to talk about since the last podcast. It's been like 2 months. Fucking hey,
Exactly, yeah. So we appreciate the support, and as always, get home safe. Check out all the rest of our content. Appreciate the love, and we'll catch y'all next time. All right.
Peace.